Hello, my beautiful, wonderful, amazing people. Don't mind me. I have a cold, so my nose is running like a sip today. And my little's getting sick. She's got this horrible barky cough that she woke up with this morning, but no fever and no other symptoms. So we'll just pray that it's just a cold. You know what I mean? So welcome, everybody. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. I hope everybody had an amazing day yesterday. I had an appointment yesterday. Oh my God, why is this on the screen? My brain today. I apologize. I am like, I'm telling you guys, I'd lose my head if it wasn't attached the last couple of days. I've just been super busy. You know, I got a lot of stuff going on in regular life. And so I wasn't here yesterday because I had an appointment, and my appointment is probably about an hour from where I live. And my good friend Ashley thankfully came and got me to bring me. She is a godsend, my friend. Oh my God, I love it. Oh, hi, how are you? It's nice to see you. Nice to see you. Oh my God, that was, by the way, Chef's Kiss, okay? That was Chef's Kiss, the song, the rap song, okay? That was amazing work, my friend. I saw that. That was amazing work. Hold on. I'm trying to help someone with some stuff. And so you guys know me. I'm always doing like 100 things at once. I did make you guys some AI songs though. I did. I think you will enjoy my AI songs that I made. So I will let you guys listen to those in a minute. About the Sewer Turtle and the Sewer Crew. I think, you know, they're very on point for who these people are. But can never leave someone hanging. You guys know how I am. I want to make sure that I'm on top of helping who I'm supposed to be helping with what I'm supposed to be helping them with at the same time as doing all of this. Let me find said AI songs because I think you guys will really appreciate the AI songs that I have made for all of you. Hey girl, hey! I'm sure you listen to them already because you're on Twitter. But I did decide that today was a good day to wear my new shirt that Amy got me. Thank you, Amy. And it's one that was on my wish list because I need clothes badly. But it is a skull because I love skulls, but it is blingity, blingity, right? It's got the little gemstones on it. And it's long sleeve. I just kind of pulled up the sleeves because it gets a little hot in my house. If I turn the heat down, it gets too cold. If I turn it up, it gets too hot. So I'm in that weird middle, you know, mid-ground there where it's too hot or too damn cold. Okay? God damn it. But I made these AI songs just for you guys, okay? And I want you to hear them because they're amazing. But I did wear my blue and or green eyeshadow, okay? It does match my headset. And I love these headphones. And I'm really mad that like the microphone on them isn't working right. These are Beats Sports. I love them. I love them so much. I can give you that in a nutshell. Let me just play one of these AI songs first, and then I will give you the nutshell of that case because it can be quickly explained. Let's see. One of them is called I Can't Go Back, but there's two versions of that song. I haven't put out the second version of that song yet, but the first banger is called Sewer Crew Lies Revealed. I don't know, you know? I think if some of you don't have X, so, or AKA Twitter, that's what X is. There is never a happy medium, not with my heat at least, for sure. You know? Oh, hold on. Whoa. Okay, we can thank AI. And if they try to give me a copyright strike, I own this. So I would love for them to do it.
Toxic, lying, greedy, content creators, destroying innocent lives with docs and shame and fear, threats, using pain, trauma, poverty as weapons to harass, intimidate, silence. The sewer crew, Jessica Machado, restraining orders from community with Henry, aka the Gloria. History of violence against children and women, criminal record, lives in mom's basement, over 40 auntie dead, fake and funny comedian, failed teacher in mom's basement. Turtleboy charged with witness intimidation, loves lying, doxing, shaming, harassing, threatening, narcissists, using coercive control on cold audience, turtle riders, hurts people, serial cheater, over 50 fake accounts. Illegally wiretaps, blackmails with recordings, harasses exes, tries to get them fired. Pushes false narratives, they follow for money. Subscribers lying to audiences, whatever he wants. Sewer crew exposed! Their lies and crimes revealed.
Not breaking. Okay, so it shouldn't have been breaking up. Maybe it's just on your end, Julie. That one was pretty catchy. They got the beat pretty good. Listen, you can only ask AI to do so much. You give them what you want, and they give you a song, right? You give them, you tell them what you want, essentially, from the song, and then they give you the lyrics to the song. You tell them if you want it pop or rock or, you know. There's a second. Well, I made 3, but this one is called I Can't Go Back. This is version 1. I like the second version. I go to that concert too, right? Like I totally go to that concert. It'd be a good concert, right? It would. It would be a good concert, I feel like. This is the second one. This is one I called I Can't Go Back. This is in the rock melody, folks. Okay. So if you don't like rock, I apologize. But I wanted a different kind of beat here. All right. We had to make more than one.
On the floor, tantrum and rage, screaming loud, I can't go back to the cage. Wipes his tears, hatches the plan, calls his code, time to strike again. Dog whistles blow, followers rise, false reports fly. Under disguise, jobs on the line, schools get the call, family haunted, watching them fall. Turtleboy strikes, destroys from the dark, wiretap whispers, threats leave them marked, intimidation, controlling his grip, manipulations, his twisted trip. 10 years of lies, narrative shift, blames the world, never admits the rift, coercive chains, fear in their eyes, life for him or pay the price. Innocent whispers that leave their mark. Intimidation, controlling his grip. Manipulations, his twisted Pattern repeats, decade of pain. Ex-girlfriend's crushed in his reign. Tantrums to terror, cries under commands. Girl's army marches on his demands. I can't go back, but he drags them down. Fear and threats keep us from subtle poison built on the broken. Echoes fade, but the damage unspoken.
Just saying, it's new. So there's many AI places you can use. There's a billion. I decided I was going to find one that did what I want, and at the same, so you can make the first one. I think is free, and then this specific one's called Neume. I think that's how you pronounce it, Neume, Neume. And it'll make 2 versions. Every song has 2 versions. So even the Sewer Crew one had 2 versions. That's just the one I put up. But it gives you 1 coin or whatever to start off with, and then they have like something where you can make like 20 or 10 a month for $4, or like 20 a month for $6. I think it was. I bought the small 10 a month. I think it was for $4, just so I could make a couple different versions of a couple different things. It makes 2 versions for every song that you put up, and then it gives you the option to give like a remix. So for instance, let's see. Share my screen on this. For instance, it gave me 2 versions of each one. As you can see, it gave me 2 versions of this, and then 2 versions of this, and it actually named them itself. I didn't have to name these. It actually, you can change the name of it, but oh, that's kind of cool, Any-Dasher. But this is it right here, Neume. I think that's how you say it. I could be butchering it, but it's Neume. And it makes 2 versions of each song. And also, you can also do videos. I haven't sort of touched that part yet, for sure. I haven't messed around with that. I didn't have a lot of time to do that last night. It was just something that I had a few minutes to mess around with, and I just happened to be able to do it quickly. So it was pretty. Let me see if it'll play the second version of I Can't Go Back. It is. You guys can hear it, right? At least give me a thumbs up if you can hear it.
On the floor, tantrum and rage, screaming aloud, I can't go back to the cage. Wipes his tears, hatches the plan, calls his call, time to strike again. Dog whistles blow, followers rise, false reports fly under disguise. Jobs on the line, schools get the call. Family haunted, watching them fall. Turtleboy strikes, destroys from the dark. Wiretap whispers, threats leave them mark. Intimidation, controlling his grip. Manipulations, his twisted trip. 10 years of lies, narrative shift, blames the world, never admits the risk. Coercive chains, fear in their eyes, lie for him or pay the price. Innocent life shattered and torn, silence voices forever worn. Crimes in the shadows, bad behavior hides. He pulls the strings, nowhere to hide. Turtleboy strikes, destroys from the dark. Wiretap whispers, threats leave their mark. Intimidation, control his grip. Manipulations, his twisted trip. Pattern repeats, decade of pain. Ex-girlfriends crushed in his reign. Tantrums to terror, cries turn to commands. Cold army marches on his demands. I can't go back, but he drags him down. Fear and threats keep it strong. Turtleboy's empire, built on the broken echoes fade, but the damage unspoken.
Well, those are truth missiles. You would definitely say they're truth missiles. But nonetheless, you can make them yourself, obviously. You have to tell it essentially what you want it to say, but then you also have to ask it itself to either make the lyrics or you make the lyrics. And then you have to tell it like what, like it's a genre, basically, that you want it in. And then you also have to tell, like, you have to be descriptive is my point, I guess. You have to be very descriptive when you're doing it so that it will give you exactly what you want. But it also gives you the option to remix it. So you can take it and then ask it to remix it into a different genre or remix more than one together or so on and so forth, make it a video. You can do all of those things on it. So I just was messing with it yesterday. That's what I came up with. I mean, this was like maybe an hour, I think, messing with it. Not bad for an hour of messing with it. Although I did like the first version of Can't Go Back, the one that I put out on Twitter, better than the second version. The difference was that you could hear the words better in the second version, and you could in the, well, I guess it's the second version is the one I put out, so you could hear the words better in the first version than the second version. But the second version's beat was better, I guess. You missed all the songs, Jay Boogie. No, I think you probably heard them already on Twitter, except for the one that premiered here today, which was one I just played. Because that one's not on Twitter yet. But, and also the second Sewer Crew one is not on Twitter. But again, you have to choose which one you like. I prefer the beat of one or the other, right? If it's catchy and you find yourself like tip tapping along with it, you're like, all right, that's a good one, right? Like, and if you're just like, me, I don't know, me, I don't know, meh. See you in the future. A cracking myself up. So I guess there was a lot of different things that kind of happened yesterday. I keep missing your goddamn spaces, J-Bugs, and I'm not happy with myself about it, but I'm not going to lie. I really fell asleep super early last night. I had a very long day. I had a doctor's appointment. I had other shit I had to do right after that. I was just exhausted by the time it was time for the kids to go to bed. And I laid down to sort of like watch TV for like a half an hour while the kids were falling asleep. And I never woke back up. I intended on getting back up in like a half an hour. I think it was like 9:30. And I was like out like a light. Yeah, but I love listening to your spaces and popping in on them to say hi. But I keep missing them, so I have to keep listening to them on the replay. I like to be able to replay spaces on Twitter. But at the same time, I also like to listen to them when they're live. 7 p.m. Which time, though? Not Eastern Standard Time, right? So it would be 9 my time? Central Time? What time? See, that's the thing, is I'm Eastern Standard Time. So this is why I do my show at either 11 or 12, because I'm people pointed out to me that when I was doing it at like 9 or 10, which is what I do when there's a trial on, at least East Coast trial, it starts at 9. Yeah, that's what I thought, Pacific. So it's, yeah. So it's a little bit different my time. But that's why I choose to do my show closer to 11:30 or 12 now, because people had pointed out a lot of people that watch me are from over the pond. They're from the other side of the world. And then from East Coast, West Coast, and I'm East Coast. So I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I should probably like fix it so that the people on the West Coast can watch and it won't be, 6 in the morning their time. So it's more like 9 in the morning their time. And so they don't have to miss the show, Oh, Mimi's sad, guys. Mimi's sad. Mimi's sad. Mimi is sad. Is that you, Mimi? Hey, Mimi, I'm sorry that you're sad. I'm sorry you're sad, Mimi. Next time, maybe make your own jokes. I mean, it's kind of sad when you use someone else's jokes and then come into their channel. It's like kind of lame, just saying. It's lame. You can't use my own joke. And I wore this blue eyeshadow just for you haters that hate when I do it. I did it on purpose. I'm wearing a blue shirt and y'all hate blue eyeshadow, although it's blue and green because you guys know I love color. And a gold eyeliner, on the bottom there. But you know what I'm saying? I decided I was going to piss off all the haters that hate my blue eyeshadow. Like, I'm doing that. That's what I'm doing. So I don't apologize. Sorry, not fucking sorry at all. I'm sorry it triggers y'all so much. Actually, I'm not sorry that it triggers you. It's kind of funny, actually, that you guys get so triggered by blue eyeshadow. What in the actual fuck could trigger you more than someone wearing blue eyeshadow? I really don't fucking know. But I do find it comical. I was actually just saying this to the girls this morning, that a lot of times these people say shit like everyone's stupid and fat and ugly, and they just say it. They just say it. Like, they say it because they think it's going to get to you. I chuckle when someone does that. When someone calls me fat or stupid or ugly, I literally chuckle because I am none of the above. So I don't need other people to tell me that I am smart or that I'm not ugly or any of those things. I don't need that kind of validation. I'm a grown adult at 39 years old, and I know who I am and what I am. I'm not a fucking supermodel, but I'm sure as hell not ugly. I've been married twice, God rest my first husband's soul, but I have been married twice. 3 men have proposed to me in my lifetime, and 3 men hold my name on their body. So I'm not really worried about what I look like. Just saying. Just saying. My ex proudly still wears my name on his neck with my sign of Sagittarius on the other side. And over the years, we had asked him, his wife, he got married, and his wife actually let him keep it there. And I was like, I asked her name's Kate. And I asked her, I said, Kate, that doesn't bother you? Because I love her. I adore her. I think she's amazing. I'm like, that doesn't bother you at all? And I'll never forget what she said to me, because I thought it like took me back a little, because I don't, as a woman, like, I would never be okay with that. Right? No, you're doing something with that. Like, you're covering it. You're doing something with that. Like, what the hell? Right? But it took me back what she said to me. And she said, Elise, I could never take away from him the love that he will always have for you. And I would never try. And she said, and the funny part is I love you and adore you too. So I would never attempt to try to take that from him. Just because he cares about you still and loves you here, he loves me too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm his wife. So no, I'm not worried about his tattoo that's from many, many moons ago when we dated. We did date for a long time, but nonetheless, it was from, almost a lifetime ago at this point. And so coming from her, like, obviously that just like hit me in the chest, and I was like, ugh. Like, she's such a, like, just a good and genuine person that for me, it took me back, because I would not be okay with that. I'd be like, cover that, whatever that is on your neck, sir. Like, no, you're not going to keep your ex-girlfriend's name tattooed on your damn neck. Okay. That's not going to happen. But she's just so secure with herself and with her marriage and with her, husband, that she's like, I could never take away from him the fact that he loved you. Like, that's not going to ever just disappear into thin air, And I always kept a good relationship with pretty much all of my exes, except maybe like 2. And that's pretty damn good. Most people don't keep decent relationships with their exes, but a lot of them were when I was very young. And so, like, we're all grown adults now. You know, we're all grown adults, so I don't hold grudges, you know, from people I used to date forever ago. We were young, we did stupid shit when we were young, and we all grow up. I'm crackling. Am I crackling? You guys hearing crackling? Blue is cool, you know? Error my tablet, so that's okay. That's okay. You're still here, which is good. Well, we know that. We know that, considering you were just with me 2 weekends ago and we went out. I'm pretty sure I have no lack of people wanting to speak to me, talk to me, or hit on me. So, yeah. Although I will tell you guys, while we were out, I had like 3 different guys tell me that they thought Julie's hair was beautiful. And I was like, okay, then tell her. Like, don't be so afraid. Like, tell her. Like, they're like, oh my God, her hair is so beautiful. And I'm like, I know, right? I know. She's got like the perfect curl in her hair, just like the perfect amount of like bouncy curl. I could never. My hair is very like kinky, if that's the word I can use, because it's not curly, but it's not straight either. It's wavy with some curl in the back if I like scrunch it up, you know? Otherwise, I'd have to actually curl it myself. Hello, not sure. Yeah, I mean, haters are going to hate. It's just what they're going to do. But it is lots of insecure pick-me people, you know? I mean, that's just, it's part of the cult. It's what they do on X. You know what I mean? It's what they do. Like that's, and I was talking to the girls about it this morning because they are attacking some of my ladies. And I'm going to tell you right now, bitches, we are like Charlie's Angels, all right? I've decided that Chris is now Charlie and we're all the angels, all right? That's how we're going to do this. Chris is now Charlie. Since they think that he's our leader and that we have to get permission from him for everything, I think I'm going to get one of those little old school things that looks like, you know, the Charlie's Angels thing and put it on the desk. Press the button when we need Chris. Charlie, us angels need you, Charlie. She's very secure and mature in who she is. But it took me back because I would never, like, listen, I'm mature enough, but like that would be a no-no for me, you know? If my husband had another woman's name on his body, like I'd tell him to burn it off. Like, sir, no, I don't think so. Absolutely fucking not, you know? That's because your hair is beautiful. That's why you get it all the time. Right? Imagine. Did you see the subscriber only thing go on? Because I forgot to do it like ahead of time, but I did do it now and it should be there now, but I haven't checked it on. Hold on. See if I can turn that part on. I want to make sure it turned. Oh, it did turn on. All right. Just making sure. Oh, thank you, Allie. My wonderful friend Amy got me this shirt. It was on my wish list, and Amy bought me this shirt. I love it. It's so comfy too, Amy, by the way. It's so comfy. And it's like silky. That makes sense. It's not like my sweater I was wearing, which is nice and fuzzy and warm. It's very silky, but I love it. I love it so much. I love it. And I needed clothes, so it was like a godsend. Like it was a godsend. I needed clothes. There's a couple other ones I haven't worn yet, but I figured I'd make it a surprise. They're shirts. I'd make it a surprise for you guys. Each day I would wear a different one, you know? And to thank Amy every day I wear one because she bought them. So, you know, we're going with the rebrand here. Going with the rebrand here. What is this? Okay, I thought that was already turned on. Sometimes YouTube can be really obnoxious. And I know there's half of you, I guess, watching on X, but damn. Oh my God, that's so funny. Who is the hottest Charlie's Angel? Now listen, I'm not into blondes, okay? So I'm going to tell you that much. I like a girl with darker hair. I don't know why, but blondes were never my thing, so I apologize to you blondes. You're still beautiful and wonderful. I don't know. I just always, even with guys, I've never dated a guy that was like a bleach blonde. Like maybe if it was like dirty, like brown blonde, but never like a blonde. I don't know why. I always found it in my taste to be darker hair but lighter eyes. So pretty much every guy I've ever dated has had like darker hair and like either green or blue eyes, with the exception of one way back in the day who had brown eyes. But everyone else had like green or blue eyes. I don't know why. Apparently I have a type. My best friend, God rest her soul, pointed it out in my late 20s. And I had never thought about it before. I was like, a type? What do you mean? Like, what do you mean a type? And she's like, starts listing off my exes. And she's like, they all have dark hair, light eyes, they're all muscular build, They all have tattoos and some sort of facial hair. And I'm like, she makes a valid point. I had not thought about it until that very moment. And then I was like, she's right. I do like a tatted up guy. I'm not going to lie. I do. I have a lot of tattoos myself. I have 13 tattoos myself. They're all over my body. I have a huge one on my thigh with paw prints. So when I wear like shorts or a skirt, you can see sort of the paw prints. There's 4 of them and they sort of climb up my leg. And if I had a penny for every time someone went like this on my leg, I'd be a fucking millionaire at this point. But I never, ever thought about like whether I had a type, like looking wise, until she said that. And then I had to reflect on that for a moment and was like, she's totally right. I never thought about it. And you probably don't either, ladies, right? You guys probably don't think about that. I'm sure men think about it, right? Do my guys think about this? I'm sure you guys do, right? I don't know why I've always had dark hair. I've never actually went blonde, ever. So I am a weird mix of Spanish, Congolesian, a little bit Portuguese, Irish, West African. And so I have sort of, in my eyes, a very mocha, right now I'm very, very white, I'll tell you that, but very white from being in the house and not being outside because it's winter. But in the summer, if I'm out a lot, I get pretty dark. And I have this sort of like yellowy orange, like mocha-y tone to my skin. And so I always thought if I went blonde, it would just look ridiculous. I've tried those like apps that like turn your hair blonde. You can see what it looks like on your face. And I just never found it to be something that I thought would look good on me. And so I've never done a full blonde. The most I've done is go blonde from here down on an ombre. And that's about it. I do like a blonde ombre on the bottom of my hair, or a red. I've done a red ombre on the bottom of my hair, or get like a darker red or brown highlight and low light. But I have never, oh, you like my shades? Yeah, I have many pairs of sunglasses, but these are probably one of my favorite ones just because they're like comfortable and they fit on my face without being overly uncomfortable just to be cute, you know? Also, you know, what I love about sunglasses is because I'm an old person and I have like little flyaways that like you put your shades on, man, and it kind of just pushes those out of the way, out of your face. You know what I mean? Like if you have frizzy hair like me, you get the frizz master to come in. Although you can totally handle the frizz with Wow. I use Wow, but I didn't use it this time. The blonde highlights will look good on a dark hair. I've done the sort of, they're not usually like blonde though. They're like a orangey sort of color blonde. But highlights and lowlights, but I have never fully dyed my hair all the way another color. My hair is naturally black. So when I dye my hair, like for instance, when I just dyed my hair, what was it, like 2 weeks ago, maybe? A couple days before we went out, I think. I did from like here down to like here. I didn't do the bottom. There was no reason for me to do the bottom. There was no grace in the bottom, obviously. But you can't tell the difference because this is my natural hair color versus what I dyed it. So it is literally, essentially the exact same. My hair is black. And so usually, like my sisters, for instance, their hair is brown. They're brown. And my mother's hair is black. So you normally see like brown. Like they have dark brown. My mother has like pitch black hair. And so I got that from my mama. And you don't usually see pitch black hair on people. It's not rare, but it's not, usually it's dark brown if you're going to see that color. So it was kind of easier for me to just buy black and just do the roots, you know, because it will match the rest of my hair, thank God. But I've never thought of going lighter. I don't think it would look good on me. And I've had long hair pretty much my entire life that people always like, oh, you're going to cut it? And I'm like, I do need to like cut the dead ends off, ladies. You guys know what I'm talking about? I have some dead ends here that need to get cut off. I am so afraid of somebody cutting it and then going too short. I've had it happen before. And my hairdresser left the place that I used to go. And I haven't found a new one yet. And I don't trust, you don't trust a new person. You never know. Like you ask them for something and they do what they want instead of what you want. I don't want that. I want you to do what I want. And I don't want you going too short on my hair because my hair is long. I mean, in a ponytail, it's past my boot, okay? When I take it down, it touches the top, the like very bottom pieces touch the top of my butt. And it doesn't need to be that long, but I still want my hair to be long. I don't look good with short hair. It's just not, it's not my thing. I like to be able to style my hair, curl my hair, things like that. And you just can't do it if it's short. I need to be able to put it in a bun, put it in a ponytail, make space buns, do all the things, man. But I do need to cut these dead ends off because they're pretty dead. They're dead. I also worry because I have psoriasis on my scalp and I lose a lot of hair. Like it's not thick anymore. It's very thin compared to what my hair used to be. Okay. And so, I've been trying to really take my vitamins, like it grows. Don't get me wrong. It grows, as you can see, like I have a lot of growth, but I also lose a ton of hair. I'm a woman. I shed. All right. I shed. There's hair everywhere all the time. My poor kid's like putting a sweatshirt on. She's like, Mommy, there's a big black hair on this. And I'm like, my bad, bro. What do you want me to do? It's not my fault. I shed. Okay. Get a lint roller? I don't know. Like I shed. I don't know what to tell you. But there was a lot of good things that happened yesterday on Twitter. Well, I wouldn't say good things as in like they were good things, but like they were fun to find out about. They were fun to find out about. There was a lot of, so apparently Aiden did a spaces. He did a spaces yesterday, right? Same here, hair everywhere, man, hair everywhere. But Aiden did a spaces yesterday, apparently. And he also said just a bunch of apparently he was upset. This is so funny to me. He was upset that pictures of his new girlfriend were posted and people found out who she was. Now this was on his bus stop live. Oh, good. Maybe you can fill us in, Christina. I haven't blocked. So I did not hear his spaces. I am just reiterating essentially what was told to me. But on his bus stop thing, he complained about people show the picture was already put on social media of all the people, the whopping 25 people who showed up to his court thing, and that includes him and his attorneys, by the way. So the whopping 22 people. And as I pointed out, Aiden does not let his girlfriends stand next to him when he first starts dating them because he doesn't want social media to know who they are. So you can always tell who they are because they're awkwardly standing as far away from him as humanly possible if a picture or a video is taken. And so bingo, immediately the picture posts up and I'm like, I know which one she is. That a one because she is awkwardly over in the corner. Awkwardly over in the corner. Again, the man has patterns of behavior, folks. He does not want to publicly hold his girlfriend's hand or claim her right away. It takes a lot of pushing probably from the girlfriend to do that. And then he uses a lot of gaslighting. Well, you don't want the trolls to know who you are. The trolls are going to harass you, blah, 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 blah. So he gets on and complains about how people put her picture up and it's like, no, her picture was up. One of your idiot minions posted pictures of all the people who went. That had nothing to do with anyone else, right? And essentially, Any Dasher is right. That's going to be his next victim. I feel honestly horrible for her. But to me, it is fucking comical for him to complain about her picture being up when one of his own idiot minions posted the damn picture of all of them. You're just like, how? Obviously, we're going to know, right? We're going to know who she is just by your patterns, sir. And of course we did, right? We did know right away about what was, going on. And so I guess, because I wasn't, again, I did an appointment yesterday, so I wasn't really on Twitter, right? Wasn't on Twitter. So I had no idea what was going on until last night, this morning. Christina thankfully kept me apprised to the bus stop live. And so he was complaining that people put her picture out and that they knew her name now. And it's like, what did you think was going to happen? Then apparently he went on a rant about how, God forbid, someone say her name or quote, doxing her, blah, 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 this, that, and the other thing. And people are blowing up my inbox and they're like, is this real life right now? Is he serious? That's what he does 24/7. 24/7, he doxes and harasses people. And he has the audacity to actually care whether someone is going to know who his girlfriend is that he brought out in public. Sir, what fucking kind of la la land do you live in? Okay? Like, really? Yeah, so they found her in the crowd at the Wilbur and blew up the picture showing that apparently her and her, I believe, twin sister was at the Wilbur. And then he tried to say that, she wasn't a fan. Okay, but then why is she at the Wilbur in the actual audience if she's not a, quote, fan, sir? I think you're just lying again, per usual. Oh, the cease and desist. We can talk about that. So the cease and desist. Ooh, copper highlights. Yes, I did say, yep, Twitter T. So far away. So far away. Yep, just like standing. It's standing. That's exactly so far away. I think copper highlights would look really good. I think you're right on that. Just around bush riding, just riding the bushes over there. It's fine. The cease and desist was sent by no other than Ray from Dallas and one of his mods who happens to, quote, be an attorney. And most cease and desists are not really worth the paper that they're fucking written on. You could essentially just really wipe your ass with it. And yeah, that's what happened. The cease and desist was sent from Ray from Dallas's mod attorney person. It's not worth the paper it's written on. And that's about it. That's literally it. That's the story. That's the whole thing. He mentioned the day her arm showed when he was streaming game and dog jumped him. Yeah, so I saw the arm there. And there was another picture someone showed, and I was like, that has to be her. And they're like, well, why do you say so? I go, it matches the arm that was grabbing the dog in his live stream when someone sent me that clip of it. Because I don't watch his shit. I refuse to give him a view. I don't care if it's only one view. I refuse. I outright refuse. So someone sent me like the clip of him, like the dog humping him and the arm coming in and taking the dog. And you could tell that she's probably my age. And I immediately, like, for some reason in my head was like, that's definitely her. Like, and this was before the court date with the pictures of her. There was another picture someone showed, and I was like, that one has to be her. But nonetheless, like, how are you going to complain about them finding her in the crowd at the Wilbur while you're actively also lying and saying she's not a fan? Then why was she in the crowd at the Wilbur, sir? Common sense, you know? Yeah, that's a shitty part of Spaces. I think that's why a lot of people have 72 sock accounts. You know, Val has 72 sock accounts. And what she does is she makes the accounts with, like, yesterday it was, or the day before was Astro's name and Astro's picture, and tried to get into Spaces. And it's like, do you have nothing better to do, Val, but make 72 sock accounts with other people's pictures and names on them to get into a space because no one wants you on a space? Because you're just vile and gross and mean, just so people will pick you. I just picture Val, like, putting her hand up every time she enters a space and screaming, pick me. Like, every fucking time. That's a good question, Tokyo. I don't really actually know. He's good at lying and manipulating and pretending. You know, that's kind of how it works when you're a narcissist. It's good at pretending, you know? I mean, he lost his grip a long time ago, Amy. He lost his ever-loving mind many moons ago. You know what I mean? Right? It's right. You're right, my friend. I don't know. It's a good. I don't know. It's a possibility. I'm not sure if she did or didn't. No idea on that. He's planning another show in April. What I find so funny about that is he couldn't even fill it the last time. Okay, the last time he had to have people like buy tickets and like give them away to be able to say that he sold out the Wilbur, which was his biggest thing, was like, I need to sell it out so I can say I sold it out. Like, that was his thing. And so we pushed people to buy tickets to like raffle them off and give them away. And like, he's still. So I don't know how he thinks at this point, with all of this going on, that he's going to somehow do it. Exactly, Julie. He could easily keep her private by having her not show up in public while people are taking pictures and videos, just saying, you know? I mean, I feel bad for her a little. I have to, because not every woman is going to know what they're jumping into. And like I said, even like, think about it, right? Not every woman is going to do a deep dive into the guy that they're dating. Guys and women are real good at manipulating when they're first in a relationship and making someone think they are someone they are not. And I think Aiden is one of those people. He sort of lets these poor women think he's someone that he is not, right? Gaslights them into oblivion, just tells them they're going to hear a lot of bad things about him, but it's just trolls and people who hate him and people with turtle derangement syndrome, you know, his fake medical condition. And these women buy it, hook, line, and sinker, you know, and it's unfortunate, you know. I mean, what did he expect? That is a great song. What did he expect? The man is just a bold-faced liar, okay? I mean, and I can concur with this, that like, at least from years ago, like, this is what he dates, is people who pay him any mind, you know. He actually admitted, I believe to Lindsay it was, that women never paid attention to him until he was Turtleboy, and that he was just a nerd. It's like, no, you're not even a nerd because you're not even smart. You can't be a nerd if you're not smart, sir. I'm a nerd, all right? And I'm not, you know, of some great intelligence. I'm average like everyone else. Like, you know what I mean? But he Like, you can't be a nerd when your motto is C's and D's get degrees, dumbass. Okay. I intend on keeping it black, but I do intend on maybe at some point in the future, when I can afford so, to do an ombre at the salon on the bottom like I usually do. I don't know, over a doxing, over knowing who he is. I don't know. It's not worth the paper it's written on. That's the point. Like, I don't know why you would send a cease and desist about somebody saying who he is. He is who he is. And there's like, you can't bring someone to court for that. So writing a cease and desist for it is kind of fucking stupid. You know? Yeah, I saw that. I saw someone sent me the thing for the bar where they were. And I forget who was right next to him, but I forget. But then she was like either one down or next to him down, and he was live streaming. Like, dude, what the fuck? She's in the shot. Like, yeah, Ray. Oh God, I don't know if it was Meredith or someone else, but I think Chris. I believe. Hold on, let me see. I believe Chris posted who it was sent to. Let me just see it real quick. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Okay. Hashtag Amy, her name is, makes threatening online social media posts to civilians. You're not going to make partner with these actions. Oh, so she's the lady who sent the cease and desist. Now let's see. I know he put it up at some point at least. I believe. I can't find it. But I don't know if it was to Meredith or to someone else. Yeah, I like black too. Yeah, the patterns of the YouTubes. I'm looking. Hold on. I think it was to Meredith, but I'm not 100% sure. I believe it was, but I can't be too sure. But I mean, come on, man. You know what? Yeah, he got the content. Like, I mean, Val needs help. Find a fucking hobby. You know, find a hobby now. No idea. I have no idea. Yeah, he wants to do a show in Medford. Oh, for fuck's sake. His own co-host has to buy tickets. Yeah, fuck that. I wouldn't. If I'm a co-host, why would I be buying tickets? I wouldn't. First of all, if I had a show, I wouldn't even make my mods buy tickets. I would buy them for them. That's so stupid. You know, that has got to be a lie. He said they sold the most alcohol ever. Okay, well, what about all the comedians that sell out the Wilbur? I'm gonna bet they sold more alcohol there. You know. Also, that's probably not something to brag about. Just saying. All those people drove home. No. Like, I'm just saying, you know. I believe, as far as I understand, it's gone right now. I can't comment on that. I have no comment for that. Hey, Grammy. Said there was a fight guy, never had to kick anybody out. He was bragging. Okay, well, first of all, if you expect that to continue with the people that follow him, I don't think so. Like, he did give tickets away, raffled tickets, gave tickets. Like, that's, other people had to buy multiple sets of tickets. Like, it was just crazy, you know? Well, that's jump for joy what they do. That's what narcissists do, is they flip the scenarios where the victim is you make them the perpetrator, and the perpetrator plays victim. And that's what Aiden does. He's always the victim. Everyone else is bad and horrible and mean and terrible. And he is the, quote, victim. Except the problem with that is he is not a victim. He has never been a victim, and he will never be a victim. Oh, shit. I forgot to totally. Okay. Oh, God. You know, my brain today, I'm telling you. I forgot to put the, I definitely forgot to put the donation link in the chat, because my brain, that's why. Because my brain today. Because I just can't today with my brain. That's why. I will do that now. My bad. Also, let's talk about Willie Henry and his assertion that the the Omni did the right thing. Interesting statement. Now, he said he was accused of rape. That's what he said. He said he was accused. So I'm putting up the donation link now. It'll say support small creator. And I will pin it to the top of the chat, and that is for donations for credit. You can use your credit or debit card for that. As you guys know, in the description of the video, we have all our donation options for the channel, including the free ones, which are liking and subscribing and just being here and commenting in the chat and on the video when it's not live anymore, and hyping the video when it's not live anymore. Although I do believe it takes like 5 to 10 minutes or 5 to 15 minutes after it's not live anymore for the hype button to actually pop up. But it does. And then we have our basic options of super chats, super stickers, and memberships and gifting memberships, and then the more direct routes to your supporting creators, which most creators have, which are Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal, which are on the ticker here and on the screen. We appreciate any and all donations. As you guys know, my channel runs solely on the kindness of all of you, and so that's the way that my channel operates, and to cover costs and do all these things, I rely on people wanting to say like, hey, we appreciate your work and we appreciate what we do and we want to support you. And not everybody can, so being here is always a help too. Not everybody can afford to donate to a channel or a creator, and that's okay too. You're just as valuable being here. There's a lot of you that are always here, and I appreciate that more than you could probably ever know, because where am I without my audience? Just like any other creator, where are the creators without their audiences? And I think a lot of them seem to forget, where would you be without your audience? You would be absolutely nowhere. And they refuse to sort of acknowledge that without an audience of people watching you, you're not a creator anymore, right? But let's talk about the Omni for a second, because I myself did a little investigation here. I'm also in the middle of doing some investigating on this. Someone else is helping, and we're doing sort of a dual investigation into what the actual hell went on at the Omni while Willie Henry, aka the Glare, was there. Okay, that's we're doing an investigation here. All right, and so yesterday, Willie Henry decided to say that he was accused of rape while at his hotel, and the Omni, quote, did the right thing. Interesting statement to make. Interesting statement to make, right? To say the Omni did the right thing. Now, does that mean that the Omni did not call the authorities and have the authorities investigate? We're going to find out. I said in a records request for the police station that covers where he was. Now, in Boston, unlike other places, I'm sure other cities around the country have this, but most other cities don't have more than one police station. Boston does. They have A1, B1, B2, C3, like it on and on and on and on and on, right? So you got to find the right station for the jurisdiction of where the Omni is, right? So you would go to like something closer to like the seaport. So I sent in records request to see from the time he was there how many times the police were called over to the Omni and why, right? I want to see if they called the authorities. I also then called the Omni myself to ask if they would like to give comment about this story that I'm investigating about what happened over there at the Omni with a YouTuber who was staying there recently. And they directed me to Leon, who is the head of marketing over at Omni. And they said that he could maybe, give comment. So I called Leon over at the Omni. And, well, Leon did not call me back at the Omni, but I did leave a voicemail asking if maybe he wanted to make comment on this story, and see if the Omni wanted to comment on whether they, quote, did the right thing or not in calling the authorities, or did they just sort of sweep this under the rug? So I asked him in this voicemail if they wanted to make comment on the fact that the Glare says that the Omni, quote, did the right thing, which is essentially asserting that they sort of swept it under the rug, if that's the case. So Leon, give me a call back, Leon. You know, I'm gonna find out one way or another. So you might as well call me back and give me comment, because if you don't give any comment, it's probably gonna look like you did try to sweep it under the rug. So just saying, word of advice might be to call me back and give comment on that. Just saying. Christina, I love you. Well, that's the thing. Like, no one really cares who he dates. What people care about is that poor girl is going to have to deal with a whole lot of hell when she's not dating him anymore. You know, that's what essentially is going to happen. What happens to every other woman who's ever dated the man, you know, even for 5 minutes. Well, that's the other thing. Like, you're whining with the Omni's 1,000. I mean, the Omni. See, someone help me here. There's 1,000 seats, okay, at the Wilbur. 1,000 seats. Like, talk to me when you sell out in Foxborough, all right? Like, stop it. It's weird to me. Like, listen, if you don't want to show your face, I support people who don't want to show their face on screen. I know there's plenty of content creators who do not show their faces on screen, and that's totally okay. Wearing a mask is kind of weird. Just don't show your face at all. Use your icon. A lot of people just use their icon, right? And they just use their voice. Why not do that? Why wear a mask and I don't get it. That's weird. I don't understand. That's just weird, you know? And I'm not understanding. Yeah, he doesn't know how to manage better or navigate online presence. All he knows how to do is, in his mind, he thinks he sounds amazing. He thinks he can get out of anything. He thinks he sounds and looks smarter than everyone. In reality, it's a completely different thing. Obviously, most of us know in reality, he looks and sounds like a absolute fucking buffoon, right? He contributes to his own problems. It's all self-inflicted at this point. You know, self-inflicted. Self-inflicted. Yeah, again, not the first time. Well, that's the thing. He has minions, if that's what you mean, you know? He has minions. But, like, I would never ask people to do the shit he asks people to do, ever. Not ever. Not even a little. You know, oh, you haven't heard anything about this Omni thing. Interesting. I don't know. It could be BS just to get views. I don't know why someone would say something like that, though. Why would you say that you were accused of rape at the hotel? That's kind of a weird statement to make publicly. Unless he was worried it was going to get out and he wanted to get ahead of it. And pulled the Jess Machado, I'm going to get ahead of it. The problem with Jess is she isn't usually ahead of anything. Usually she has to talk about it because someone like me or someone else already brought it up. And then she gets on her show and goes, well, I'm going to get ahead of it. See, the problem is you can't get ahead of something if someone else already said it. FYI, Jess. FYI. You can't get ahead of something if someone already said it. That's not getting ahead of it there, darling. Just saying, right? It could be a story, but we're going to find out. We are going to find out, you know? Which bar incident? Yeah, I mean, it's what he said. It's not what I said. It's what he said. He said it. Him himself, right? So I am digging. I don't know what happened, right? No, I don't think it was yesterday. I think it was the night before yesterday. I think it was it Sunday night? Someone correct me if they know the exact date it was. He said it in a chat. Funny enough, it's in writing. Like, who does that, you know? Well, see, that's the thing. You won't hear it on the local news, and I'll tell you why. Because not every time someone's assaulted, SA or otherwise, is it on the news. A lot of the times it isn't, because it's keeping the victim. Everything, like the police report from that, even if it was SA, would be private. Like, I wouldn't be able to get my hands on the police report. What I would be able to get my hands on is whether they were called there or not, something like that. So that's the difference. But what if they didn't call the local PD? You know, what if they didn't? Or what if Will is lying? What if he's lying? I don't know why you would lie about something. It's kind of weird to lie about something like that, but I don't know. You know? I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, not a woman that, I guess, wants to deal with him long term, that's for sure. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. I don't know. I'm sure the victim's not going to be one to know publicly. I'm sure she or he is not going to want to, you know, be on YouTube, and I don't blame them. I wouldn't either, you know. You know, he was a mad little guy the way he ran out of the courtroom. I agree with you, Sassy. He was mad, and then he tried to spin it. It could be BS for content, but why lie, right? Why lie? Oh, I'm gonna call again today. Don't worry. Don't you worry. I'm gonna call again today. It's It's possible, Allie. It's possible. I mean, I don't judge. You can like dudes or chicks. I don't care. That's why I said he or she. Victim could be he or she. I don't really know, one way or another. Or is he lying? I don't know. It's a spiral, I guess. But what the fuck would you be saying that for? Like, why would you be? Why would you say something like that? If I was those lawyers, I would have already quit. The shenanigans are afoot, folks. Okay, and I knew that Bradel had no integrity, so I never thought that he would quit. He doesn't really care one way or another. But I did think that Betterow would, at some point, have some goddamn self-respect to the point where he would be like, you know what, this is a little much for me. I'm not going to keep going when my client keeps making me look like an absolute fucking clown. I don't want to look like a clown anymore. But apparently the money is too good for him to not want to look like a clown, which is interesting. Yeah, it was on a chat that he said it. But I do think you'll see plenty of more shenanigans. I mean, he knows that court date did not go well for him. Yeah, it was on X. Well, no, it was on YouTube originally. He wrote it in the chat. But a lot of stuff does happen on Twitter. But I mean, yeah, what would be the Omni, quote, doing the right thing? The Omni has no authority over anyone else, right? So what would be doing the right thing entitled? Throwing out the victim, not calling the PD? Like, I would like to know from the Omni what that means. That's what I would like to know. I would like the Omni to give me comment on that story. So I don't know. We'll find out. Well, they should have, but if the Omni didn't call them and the victim didn't when they left, then, again, that's why I requested the records. So we'll find out. Saturday. Okay, thank you. Saturday. I think Saturday night, right? Yeah. I guess so. I guess friggin' so. I mean, I don't know why he would ever say that publicly. It's kind of weird, It's weird. Yeah, exactly. You can be an entertainer and have ethics and boundaries and some fucking self-respect, maybe, maybe some self-respect a little, just a smidgen, right? Am I funny? Do I look like a clown, right? Do I assure you look like a clown? Weird. It is one of the nicest hotels in the Seaport, the Omni. Also, who paid for that for him? He didn't pay for it for himself. Let's be honest here, folks. Every time he's ever come to Boston, someone else paid for his flight and hotel. So who paid for it? Who paid for it? Will? Who paid for it this time? Who did you couldn't afford a ham, right? During Christmas and couldn't afford a ham, even though you're bringing in plenty of money on YouTube, but you couldn't afford a ham. You had a car outside that you can't drive, and you couldn't afford a ham, but you somehow afforded the Omni and flights. I'm going to go with you didn't pay for it, even though you probably could have, Oh, his spiral is deep, my folks. And they are in too deep at this point, No. I don't think it was the bar. He said at the hotel. So I don't know if it was the bar at the hotel that this happened. I have no idea. It could be. I don't know. He said it. Yeah, he said it in the chat. I think it was Aiden's live stream on Saturday night, I believe. I don't know why you would say something like that. Like, yeah, I'd run out of the room if I was him too. It was embarrassing. That was embarrassing for him, like weird. Right? Do I amuse you? He told the story. Clara said the bar must have had watched the video and he did nothing wrong. So that's the thing. The Omni doesn't get to decide whether he did something wrong or not. The authorities would decide that. So kind of weird. So what is the Omni doing the right thing? Looking at the video and then not calling the authorities? Well, that doesn't guarantee that the victim doesn't do it later on. Like they have every right to go and do it later on, although I don't think they'll ever feel safe at the Omni again. Imagine you brought something like that up and they just dismissed you. And let's remember, you can't see everything in a video. There are angles, right? So if you can't see something from one angle, doesn't mean it didn't happen. That's the other thing that bothers me about stuff like that. It's like you might not be able to see it in a video from whatever angle the camera was at, Like, come on. He said the Omni. That's where he said he stayed. But who knows? If he's saying it for clout, we'll find out because I asked for comment. So, just saying. He could be throwing it out there, but we're going to get to the bottom of it one way or another, Isn't this going to be fun? The story you told, he said, was Friday night. Said TB was taking his kid to the Celtics game. So poor Will was left alone. Oh boy. I'm almost positive it said it happened at the bar. But I wonder if it was the bar inside the Omni. It's the bar inside the Omni. So he, I don't know. He might be, Shannon. He very well could be, but that's a weird thing to talk about. You know what I mean? It's a weird thing to claim. Better I think realized a long time ago that the train left the station. They are. But thank you, Freeze. Can you say it again for people in the back? Say it again. Say it the fuck again for people in the back. This is one of the things I think that really enrages me the most on all of this, is that people will just say and do shit to get reactions out of people, right? I am not one of those YouTubers. If you're looking for that on my channel, it is not the place you're going to find shock jocking for no reason. I don't shock jock. I'm not going to make up drama just so people will watch and donate. This is not what you're going to find here on my channel. We've talked about this many times. I am astounded at the amount of people willing to donate to a channel and fund a channel that does shock jock and drama. And at one point I thought to myself, is that what I need to do to make a living? I'm not about that. That's not going to happen. So if that's what ultimately shuts my channel down, is that I don't shock jock and lie to my audience for fucking content, so be it. So fucking be it. Because there are these things called boundaries, self-respect. I have those things. And I will never stoop to the level that some of the sewer crew stoop to get their people to donate to them. I will not be doing that. I will be streaming the hearing if I can find it. If it's going to be available for me to stream, I will be streaming it. If it's not available for me to stream, then I can't, obviously. With his octopus hands. Bettero does love attention. Imagine if AJ paid for it. Wouldn't that be crazy? But Freeze is right. A lot of these people do this shit because it'll get them more viewers to go see what's going on. Those people will pay money to donate to their channel. They'll send a ton of super chats and a ton of direct donations to them. And so they need to shock jock for it. They need to shock jock. They need to lie to their audiences. They need to make up drama. So it's it's very feasible that maybe it isn't true. But he said it, so we're going to find out one way or another, He claimed he went out after with the bartender. That poor bartender. That poor woman and or man. Poor woman and or man. I don't know. It's a good point. I don't know if it's owned by the Hilton Group or not. It's possible that it is. If it is, just call the Hilton Group, Very strange thing to claim, especially with his JFK beef. Yeah, I agree. It's a weird thing to claim, I mean, maybe. It's possible. So it is very possible that maybe that's how he got it there. I don't know. People do fall for it, hook, line, and sinker. And I get why they do. I truly do understand, but it's disappointing to see from a creator standpoint. It's disappointing to watch people do it because it's it almost forces other content creators to follow along and do that kind of shit if they would like to, make their channels go in an upward direction. I'll shut my shit down before I do that shit. I refuse. I flat out fucking refuse. I don't care. I will shut this bitch down before I ever do some dumbass shit like that. No fucking thank you. It's on law and crime? Then yes, the answer is yes. I will just be probably having to leave you guys with the screen for about 20 minutes, maybe 15, 20 minutes when I get my kiddo off the bus, because I know it doesn't start till 3. So it is crazy, isn't it, Beach? It's crazy. Good morning or good afternoon, Veronica, depending on where you are, my friend. Or even good evening, depends on where you are. It is crazy. It's great. But, hello, we're part of a conspiracy, Beach, right? I'm part of his 17 different conspiracies, and he shouldn't disappoint you, Allie, because I tried to tell people, it's sad, but Grant had lost it a long time ago. It's unfortunate, His spaces yesterday sounded like he was going through a manic episode and threatening people on a different space and calling us pigs. What? He's going to end up with more charges for his next hearing. That wouldn't shock me at all, because that's what he does, is a downward spiral. And I'm sorry that you're disappointed, but I could have told you that, it's unfortunate, but Grant, got off the train a long time ago and is just like flapping in the wind, just kind of doing whatever he thinks people want to hear. 17 different conspiracies with 50 different people not only don't make sense but have no basis in reality. I think he's added me to like 3 or 4 of these ridiculous conspiracies, you know? And none of them have any basis in reality. So it's like, when does he stop with that? At what point? And I don't think he will until people stop paying attention to it and stop, you know, feeling bad for him and donating to him and like feeding it, essentially. You know what I mean? They're not exclusive to the channels that cover either case. I mean, it happens all over YouTube. It's just sad to see in general, because I feel like then it sort of forces other people to do that in order to gain traction. And like no, you know. Oh, because you're blocked. See, I blocked him, so I didn't see it. Also, I wasn't home, and I went to sleep early, so I don't know what time he did it, but yeah. Are you actually? Hey, Mac Bard, are you actually trying to say that Grant's conspiracies are backed by primary sources and documents? Because if that's what you're trying to say, I'm gonna have to chuckle at you. Oh, he said Microdick was with him at the bar. Oh, that's sad. That's. It used to be a little entertaining until you're hurting innocent people just trying to hide your own bad behavior, you know? See, that's the problem, though, is you can be smart or you can act smart. There's a difference between acting smart and actually being smart, right? You can say a bunch of really intelligent things about history or about airplanes and not actually know what the fuck you're talking about on a whole nother subject and just use big words to make it sound like you do. And Grant oftentimes does that. And he doesn't use it for good. You know what I'm saying? Like it just, to me, it's like he lost it a long time ago. When you start adding people to ridiculous conspiracy theories that don't exist and have no basis in reality and have evidence showing couldn't have possibly happened, like he's been saying for 2 years, I work for Kate. I don't even talk to Kate. So how am I going to work for someone I don't even talk to? Never mind the fact that I would never, quote, work for anyone but myself. So when you start adding people to ridiculous conspiracy theories that have no truth in reality whatsoever, that's when I tune the fuck out, you know? No. Well, let's just hope he doesn't show up at your dispensary, you know, which I doubt he would. Well, but that's the thing. He gets Social Security. He's on disability. Some of these people have I don't get any of that. You know what I mean? Like, so it's, I mean, I'm trying to make an honest living without having to, and I am disabled. So technically I probably should be on disability, but I would prefer to just try to work in a way that works for my really serious medical. And with YouTube, I can change what time I'm going to be on. I can shorten the amount of time I'm going to be on if I'm in a lot of pain or if I'm feeling really, really like tired. I can shut the camera off and stand up. I can shut the camera off and lay down. I can change the time. I can take a day off. I can do all of those things that you would not be able to do with any other type of job. I also have a child who gets on and off a bus. I cannot afford the 40 to 60 grand in childcare that it costs in my state to pay for childcare. So what options really do I have left? I don't have a lot. I could get on disability. I am disabled and I would qualify, but that's $1,000 a month. That's it. So even if I could make $1,100 a month on YouTube or $1,200 a month on YouTube, it would be far better than relying on just $1,000 a month in disability and doing something that I love, where I'm able to still advocate for people, help people, go over cases, and help stop the fucking shenanigans that are currently hurting dozens and dozens of innocent people, you know? She said, nice knowing you. Allie, you cracked me up. I mean, me and you probably know the most about this subject than anyone, right? And I think he's very unwell, unfortunately, you know? I think everybody, to some extent, though, Freeze gets sucked into the Twitter tea that goes around it, you know? I think that everyone wants to be liked. I don't think that's so bad for people to want to be liked or cared about. I think it starts to go over the line when you are adding people to conspiracies that don't exist. So hold on a second. You are actually here to say that Grant's conspiracies are backed by primary sources and documents. Cool. Let me know when you have primary sources and documents that I work for Kate Peter. Also, let me know of the 50 other people he's accused of that when you have primary sources and documents for that. Let me know when you get to the primary sources and documents of the 5 stones where that all connects, because just saying something does not make it true. Just saying something and saying, here's this document that says this person is connected to this person in some way, shape, or form does not mean that they all work for some super secret CIA place. That's not, you're drawing those lines that don't exist. Like, that's not how it works. It's not how it works, not even a little, you know? It could have been for content, Kathy. It very well could have been. Thanks, Freeze. It could have been, you know? That doesn't make sense, though. You're saying the ones seeking info are acting in good faith, but those denying info, what do you mean by denying info? Because as many of us have learned, you can put all the receipts out of everything that people say that's false about you all you want. All that's going to happen is they're going to say it's fake, or it's AI, or it's this, or it's that, or you edited it, or you altered it. So it's like, why would anybody waste their time doing that anymore? What would be the purpose of it? They're just wasting their time at that point. You start to learn that, you know, over a long period of time. No, they don't exist because they don't exist, no Macbar. They just simply don't exist. They simply are not there. Like, you cannot make something up and then say, this document means this. This document from 10 years ago saying that this person might know this person means that they're in some super secret CIA conspiracy together. That is not true. Not even close to true. Not even a little bit true. That is somebody making a wild assertion. That's what that is. You know, that's not truth. It's just not. It's someone else's conspiracy that they decided to spit out based on this document saying that this person might have known this person 10 years ago or been connected to them in some way, shape, or form. That doesn't prove a super secret conspiracy of the CIA. It just doesn't. Sorry. It just doesn't make sense. No, they don't exist because they simply don't exist, no Macbird. See, here's the thing. When someone says that for the last 2 years that I work for Kate Peter and I don't even speak to that person, tell me what documents would exist to show that. They don't. They don't exist. Never mind the fact that I have plenty of documents to prove half the shit that he has blatantly said is just simply not true. So why would I bother looking at documents that he has that don't prove what he's saying they prove? That's the difference. If you can look at the documents all you want, but once again, when you take this document and draw this very large line in between it, making wild assumptions to what the documents mean, that this person and this person must be working together because he said so, and because he connects this dot over here and that dot over there and this dot over here, all to the middle. Just because his conspiracy brain decided to connect those dots don't mean that those dots actually connect. There is no evidence connecting any of that to some super secret spy organization or 75 people working for Kate Peter. Like, it's simply just not true. Why would I look at something that I know 100% is simply just not true? Do you see how that kind of like doesn't work? See how that doesn't work? You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe Grant's a Kate mole, right? I mean, he accuses of everyone else on planet Earth of being that. What if he's the mole, right? Since we're just drawing lines to conspiracies that don't exist, what if he's the mole? Just saying, what if he's the mole? What if he's always accusing other people of doing it because he's been doing it the whole time? Which, as most of you ladies or gents will know, cheaters do that. Yep, they accuse the other person of cheating because they're so worried about being caught themselves. Projection at its finest, you know? So yeah, we have something like that. It's not called My Case, but yes, we do have something like that here where you can look up. The problem with our system is it's very wishy-washy, where a lot of the times, if you don't have the docket number to it, it won't pop up. Sometimes it will, and sometimes it won't, but it's not consistent. So your best bet really is to go down to the courthouse or call the courthouse and ask for the docket number to whatever you're looking for, and then punch it in and pull what they have. Well, that's what I requested, Grammy, is the log. That's what I records requested, was the log, to see if they responded to that location, and for what. So we'll see. No, I mean, there's nothing. I'm not saying there is anything wrong with getting it if need be. I'm saying if there's a way around it for myself, and I can only speak for myself, I would prefer to just work. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what that looks like. And I don't think that work in the word of traditional work needs to be a thing. People think of work and they think you have to sit at a desk 40 hours a week, or you have to be doing construction 40 hours a week. Like, why does anybody else get to choose what my work looks like? You know, I've done non-traditional work pretty much my whole life. Pretty much my whole life I've done non-traditional work. So who gets to decide what traditional work or non-traditional work looks like and who should be allowed to do it? You know what I mean? So there's a lot of people making opinions on who should be, quote, working and what constitutes working and what doesn't constitute working. I think everybody should worry about them goddamn selves and what constitutes working. Because I know what I do. I know what I put in and I know what I do, you know, during the business hours of usually freaking 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. and even sometimes later than that, that I don't get paid for in helping people. And I'm happy to do it because it's something I enjoy, you know? Not curious about the Epstein documents? Oh, I have always been curious about Epstein documents and they just dumped 3 million of them, you know? But what do the Epstein documents have anything to do with what we're talking about now? The Epstein documents have zero to do with what we're talking about right now. Yeah, that's, I mean, my daughter gets her own disability, but she's 21. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't go to me. It goes directly to her bank account because she's 21. She's blind and not, as you guys know, physically disabled. But how do you get paid? That's interesting. That is interesting because it used to be that if it's your child, you could do it for your parents. I know now, at least in this state, for now you can. You used to be able not to, but for your own child, across the board, it used to be like, nope, because it's your child, even though they're over 18, even though they're disabled, it was no. So, I mean, unless they changed that, which I'm sure they probably did at some point. Oh, you have a son? He's 34. I love that. Oh yeah, nobody cares. That's his new line. That's Aiden's new line. Nobody cares when he does it. He can get SSI 1 when you're finishing school. You're allowed to go to school and get disability. Actually, they encourage you doing something like that because at any point you could get off of SSI. You know, they encourage you to take classes or whatever. So that's very well a possibility. Also, a long time ago, and I don't know if Grant changed his mind, but a long time ago, he told me that he didn't want to be a lawyer. He wanted to be a teacher. So he wasn't ever going to go take the bar. He never intended on taking the bar. And he just wanted to teach. So I don't know. No idea. You know? No, girl, that means you're stubborn. I'm a little bit Portuguese too. That means you're stubborn, which is totally okay. You're entitled to your opinion, and you know how I feel about the whole thing, you know? Grant also said Epstein and Maxwell tried to reach out to him on Reddit. I fucking can't. No, he didn't. No, he actually didn't say that. He also said Russian oligarchs were after him at one point, so just saying. A PPP program. Is that like federal, or is it like, I've never heard of this, or is it every state, or is it just, because certain states have certain programs. Let's remember that, you know, different states have different things that they're allowed to do and not allowed to do. I don't know. Do you mean like hours for like helping them? Because that's separate and apart from like it just specifically taking care of them all the time. They do like hours. If you apply, they give you hours for like a assistant, essentially, like a medical care assistant. But I think they cap it. You can only cap it at 40 hours, but a nurse comes out and decides how many, and then the company will loves to lower the amount that they allow you. It's a whole shit show. I've helped other families do that specifically for people who are, you know, parents or children or even themselves who need like a medical assistant. New names for the couple: Slimy and Grimy. Now you're just trolling at this point. Con, yeah, that's true. You know. I mean, again, I don't want to like knock anybody for making money. I mean, creators create, right? Like, so they should make money. It's the line for me is when you're willing to just make shit up or lie, right? Like that's the part that gets me, you know? That's the part that gets me. That is the part that gets me. It just doesn't make sense. Yeah, see, that's unfortunate, no, MacBard, because it just simply isn't the other way. It just simply isn't. It simply is not. You know? Yes, I heard this, that Sean on the Gulf is the kingpin CIA pawn. Do you know how absurd that is? It's absurdity. It's absolute fucking absurdity. All right? It's absurdity. There is zero truth to that. All right? So it's like, you know, you know, by default, I think you're right. I mean, when you're running around talking to everyone and pretending that you don't like this person or that one, but then when you change your narrative and your narrative changes that you have to go and talk to those people, like seems like that's kind of Molly, you know? Molly, Molly, Molly. Molly, Molly, you know? I mean, hey, just saying. 2 nights at the Omni is $422. Not too bad. Probably because it's February. Yeah, try to get it in the summer. Shit goes straight up, you know? Karen Reed has with the death suit, the civil death suit today. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, using a grape allegation is probably not the attention that you want. You know what I mean? Molly, Molly, Molly. I mean, you know, left his suit jacket at the hotel. He had the bartender's number in his pocket. Well, if you really cared, I guess you'd know how to get in touch with you. You know? Personal preference program. Oh, I'm sorry, Sassy. You know, I was never a huge fan of Melanie, full disclosure. But what I am going to say is that I watched her all this time, and I don't mean watch her like watched her shows, but all this time make up excuses for Aiden and say how she doesn't like drama and she doesn't like this, she doesn't like that, but make up every excuse on planet Earth about him, and that is because she needs his writers for her channel to keep sending her, you know, super chats and donations and all those things. So she has no problem lying to her audience or pretending like Aiden didn't do anything wrong when he certainly did. And her fake outrage for the judge at the last hearing, like, completely sealed the deal for me, as it already had long before that, but like that just showed me even more so that she's willing to just blatantly lie to her audience and fake outrage over something that legally was sound from what the judge was saying. And anybody with any sort of legal mind or has ever worked in the legal realm knew it. And you have her over here screaming as if the judge did something wrong or was saying something wrong. The judge was spot on with everything he was saying under the law. But she practiced civil law. And the last time she ever fucking practiced in her state was like one case in 2014 and one case in 2015. She hasn't practiced since. She never practiced criminal law. And when she talks about criminal law, it makes me cringe. Because half the time she has no fucking idea what the hell she's actually talking about. And then people just automatically believe her because she's like, well, I'm an attorney. So they just automatically assume that she's right and anyone else couldn't be right because they're not an attorney. And that's just false. Just because someone is an attorney doesn't mean they're always right. Let's just throw that out there. Thank you, Beach. I have written that down. Yeah, his mother was paying for school. And he was driving her car. But then at some point he said, stop paying for school. I need you guys to help me pay for school. Food. I need food. The stories change with what he needs, you know? Well, it's expensive in the summertime. It goes well over $600 a night in the summertime, maybe because it's winter, that it's not that bad right now. But I don't know why. If he's bragging about money, then why did he have every other person pay for his flights and hotel every other time he's been here? Just saying, you know? Just saying. Oh, it's a state program. Okay, good. You mean Aiden? Open Learning Center. Yeah, I mean, you could. 100 hours per month. So that's what? It's 20, 40, 60. So it's like, what, 30, 25 a week or whatever. It's not bad. You mean Aiden, right, Sassy? Hi, New Hampshire dude. Nice to see you. Just a tool, not a useful one. I love it. I know I'm behind in the comments. I'm getting there, I promise. I'm only like 3 minutes behind in there, but I'm getting to it. I've never flown international either, although I would love to one day, you know, but he does live in a glass house and throw a lot of fucking stones. That's for sure. Like, on a commuter plane, he thinks it's first class on a 747. Yeah, no, it's not even close to the same thing on a 747. Grant is going on about 5 stones. Yeah, so none of that is true. None of it. So that's my problem, is when you're drawing lines that completely don't exist, like, that's a problem, you know? You're now allowed to take donations for streaming links. Only one person's work is donation worthy, right? Apparently, mine's not worthy of getting donations, apparently. I am not worthy. I'm told. Only certain people are allowed to get donations for their work. And it has to be if you don't ask for Cash App or Venmo, you don't provide those options to your viewers. You can only do certain things that count, apparently. Which is so funny to me because there are so many people who streamed or made videos or, did some sort of social media for numerous years and made money. But because they're not doing it now, that magically means that everybody else doing it is bad. I mean, I don't know how that thinking works, but please don't speak for myself. Don't speak for what my motives are. Please speak for yourselves. I know myself and I know my own motives, and I don't need anybody else speaking for what they are or who I am other than myself. So I would really love for all the other people to stop speaking for me or fucking anyone else about what their motivations are or why they do what they do. Because unless you're me, you wouldn't fucking know that, would you? Although the people who know me will. Aw. I just got a $10 Venmo. Thank you so much. I'm not going to read your real name. Don't worry. I don't want to read your government name on here. You never want to do that anyway. I'm trying to get to the comment if I can, but my phone is slow. It says, thank you for all you do. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Why is my thing not? Ooh. Jeez. My phone is like slow motion right now, and it's just doing whatever it wants to do. But thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. She posted about Expo Cosgrove. I'll get to that in a second. Let me look. Yeah, he is definitely a creep. I can concur with that, but I will check that in a second, Kathy. I know, New Hampshire dude. Melanie Little is a hypocrite. Law Nerd says she's a sellout, a joke. Panda says she loves drama. I have to agree, He said he made friends with the hotel staff. That's quite interesting. He makes that claim. We'll see about that now, won't we? Now, I never reveal all my cards on the table, but I'm going to tell you this much. I'll find out if he, quote, made friends with any of the staff there. They have to be nice to people. That's literally their job, is working with people at a hotel and to be nice. Probably sat at the bar the whole time he was there. Didn't know what else to do, But she's ridiculous, and yeah, a tool, but not a useful one. It's just a lot of the shit. I will read it. Give me 1 second. Deadhead. I agree with you, New Hampshire dude, PC explained the hot bench comment pretty good. Well, at least you're leading in charge for creators to tell the truth to be paid for their work. YouTube is real work. It is work if you do all the stuff that, like, if you just press the button and go, okay, I can understand, I can understand that. I know I will totally check on it. I meant to do it last night and I passed out because I was so fucking tired, but I will do it right after the stream, I promise. I can't believe you haven't gotten that yet. It should have been there probably 2 weeks ago. But I will check right after the stream. I mean, I could be leading the charge. I just don't see it ever happening. Breaking through to people who want the truth given to them. People don't always want the truth given to them. It's unfortunate. And as you can see, you'll see the difference between people who are willing to tell you the truth and people who are not willing to tell you the truth, and the disparity in what that looks like for a channel. For me, I will continue doing what I do, and so be it if it doesn't end up going up that way. It is what it is, and I'm not going to lower my bar or step back from my boundaries as a human being or what I believe in simply for people to donate more. I'm not going to fucking do it. I don't give an ever-loving shit. If the channel doesn't survive because I don't do that, then so be it. I will still help people with YouTube or without it. I helped people long before YouTube. I'll help people long without it, And for me, it's more like, if I can stop one person a week from being hurt by the sewer crew, then I'm doing my job. I'm making sure that people are informed about what could happen to them if they engage. All you have to do is breathe the wrong way, and he will send his minions after you. People like Melanie Little, people like, Jess Machado, who are willing to just say whatever he wants to hear. Whatever he wants to hear, whatever he wants them to say, they'll say. And as you guys saw, they could just have, Jess Machado. You guys remember when he called her? He called her. He actually called her on the fucking phone to scream and yell at her about something she was talking about him that he didn't want, right? And she stopped her stream immediately. That's the kind of shit he does. He screams and yells at people and tells them what they're allowed to say and what they're allowed to not say. Okay. And they do as they're told because they need his viewers to send them money and to keep their channels going and going. At the very least I can say is I didn't build my channel with him throwing me viewers or not throwing me viewers. I built my shit brick by brick on my own. I don't need his help or any fucking buddy else's. I will do what I do alone in my own, going to the beat of my own goddamn drum. If you don't fucking like it, you know where the goddamn door is. It's really that simple. I am who I am. I'm not going to change myself for anyone. And the people that know me in person, a lot of you, then you know me, you know? You know me. Bingo, Freeze, exactly. We've also recently found out that a lot of these sewer crew people who are on Twitter, who are disparaging other people, calling other people names, just being really nasty, are mental health workers. That's really fucked up to see. You're a mental health worker going after other people on the internet? I mean, you should probably not work in mental health then. You should probably not work in mental health if that's the case, you know, at all. Yes, there is a hearing today. Oh, thank you, Amy. Me, I'm the me. She means me. She means me. She means me. I mean, all of it is just sad, right? Like, and that's what I'm going to do, no matter what. I don't give a shit who likes it and who doesn't, right? I wore the blue eyeshadow because it triggers them hard fucking core. Like, the way that Melanie and Auntie Deb decide that they're going to go after Nan is, like, disgusting. Like, how many sock accounts does it take? Like, right, do we do this thing where it's like, how many clicks does it take to get the center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know. How many sock accounts does it take to disparage one fucking woman? Well, Auntie Deb has had a lot of different ones, you know? Oh my God. Grave, I have to read this. He always leaves the best comments on his donations. I fucking love them. Grave sends $100 and he says, for anti-glare cootie spray. The anti-glare cootie spray. Can we get the anti-glare cootie spray? I'd like the anti-glare cootie spray. That'd be amazing. It'd be freaking amazing. That's fucking awesome. Thank you, Grave. I appreciate you, my friend. Let me see. Ooh, popcorn. Law Nerd gets out the popcorn. Just gets out the popcorn. I know I'm a little bit behind. Hold on. I'm trying to catch up here, I promise. Where did it go? Oh God, my stupid comment section over here. I'm trying to keep up with it on two sides, you know? No, I'm just me, Cloud, right? Like I don't try to be someone else. I'm just me, right? Like I make mistakes. I'm not perfect. I'm human, right? But I'm not a shitty person. I'm not a mean person. You know, I don't just do dumb ass shit for funsies. I don't, you know? Yeah, no, I don't blame you, lady. Redecoration sounds like a great fucking idea. You two stole my super sticker. Well, they stole your super sticker. That's not cool. How'd that happen? Is that possible? Can they do that? Steal super stickers? Yeah, none have popped up on my end, so. The cesspool is deep, my friend. It is, you know? Well, they allow that, though. Like you just said, they're allowing yourself to become your worst selves with all of that. And I get it. It's for money purposes. It's for, you know, it's for all the purposes that they think is going to help them in the long run, where they can shoot their channel up quickly, right? So they think, you know, the more subscribers and the more money they can get, the better. But at what cost? At what fucking cost? At the cost of yourself. I know, right? Anti-cootie spray. I love it. Best thing ever. Best thing ever. And it does make a difference. It only takes 1 or 2 or 3 donations of people for it to, you know, for it to make a difference in someone's channel, especially a small one. It charged for Bink? Wait, what? Is it still pending or is it gone through? Definitely contact them. Don't let it just go through without it going to do anything because it's not here. What? You bought 5 memberships? What? What is happening? Wait, there's multiple of you having that issue? Hold on. Let me write you guys' screen names down so I can also contact them. I want to make sure that you guys don't, that doesn't happen. It's not popping up, obviously. So clearly YouTube's having a problem. So let's make sure that they either refund you guys your money or they do what they were supposed to do with it. Well, that's the thing. She has done nothing wrong, you know? Nothing wrong. She gives with her heart, and I don't give a shit if you don't believe the same thing in the case, right? That doesn't mean that, like, it's okay to treat people the way people treat people. You know? It's just not. I wrote you guys' names down so I can contact YouTube myself and see what the fuck is going on, because it should have popped up, and it's not popping up on my end either. So I don't know what is going on, and they charged you guys, so that's not okay. Send it to my without your banking numbers on it, like X those out. I don't need those, but just send it to my email so that I can send it to YouTube. Oh, it's pending, so they didn't take it yet. Why? That's weird. What the actual? Oh, that was nice of you. Not sure now. That was super nice of you. Aw, yeah. I don't know why it's not. That's really okay. So let me just write down yours. Yours was 5 memberships, which was nice of you. Thank you. Thank you guys for thinking of me. I appreciate you guys. If you can, send me screenshots, but like X out your, I don't need your bank numbers and all that shit. That YouTube, but send it to my email. So after the stream, I can get on them about what the actual hell they're doing. Because I'm probably not the only one having that problem right now. I can guess. Actually, let me check real quick. Sometimes they'll tell us if there's like an ongoing issue within it. So let me check real quick and see if in the studio it tells me. But yeah, I am going to stream the hearing. If it's on Law and Crime, I'll stream it. Yeah, we don't want you getting charged for nothing. Usually they'll tell us if there's like any ongoing issues. They'll send us like a thing if it's like a known issue. It's 3:00 my time. The hearing's 3:00. It was deeply disturbing, and I've been calling it for a while, and it is bonkers, you know? Aw. Yeah, but not sometimes people will say, please don't give me the shout out, and I'll just say anonymous, but it's my way of saying thank you. And I feel like sometimes thank you isn't enough when people offer to give, right? But it's all I have, right, is a thank you. But it's my way of showing like that I appreciate it. And so I like to be able to give the shout out, to say thank you. Like I really appreciate it, you know? Well, see, that's exactly it, Amber, right? Like if you're a good person, I feel like you're just automatically, targeted by these shitty ass people because it's some weird jealousy issue. Like, here's an idea, just be a better person. No, that is not true. That is not true. That is something they threw around there to like, I mean, they did say the same thing. Okay, I'll write it down, 350 or 5. They'll know on their end anyway. But yeah, that's the thing. Why is Jimmy foaming at the mouth about Nan? Leave her the fuck alone. It's really that simple. Leave her alone. What, like why? Yeah, the bullying is over the top. There's something seriously wrong, and it's like, is there something wrong with them? Like she's never hooked up on any of those people. That was all a way to sort of make her look like a bad person, or look like a this, or look like a that. And it's like, but this is what they do. This is what they frickin' do. It's ridiculous. Oh, thank you, Amy. I appreciate you. He hates it when people spell his name wrong. It's so funny. It's Aidan. That's how he spells it. But if you spell it with an E, he gets all pissy. You don't? I need a life. No, you don't. No, you don't. But a lot of people saw that. But that's the kind of stuff that I have no problem correcting, right? Like, no, not true. Not true. But at the same time, like, that's the kind of stuff that they're willing to say about people when they know it's not true, right? To hurt people. Oh, thank you. It's very springy, right? Very springy, I feel like. Very, very springy. And they do need scapegoats. I think, Sam's right. Bullies need scapegoats. You know, you don't need a life. You're fine. It's very thoughtful of all of you. Oh, you're still sick with that thing, bro? You've been sick for like weeks, I feel like, with that upper respiratory cold, man. It's not so much that I'm hard on myself, but I feel like what else could I give, you know, to people? I try to give you guys me, you know, just where's the vitriol? That's a good point, chicks. Mostly from Aiden and Jimmy. You know, Aiden gave the dog whistle, and Jimmy just keeps going, and Melanie Little, they just kind of keep going with it. And like Sam said, bullies need scapegoats, right? Even YouTube bullies need scapegoats. They need to find other YouTubers or other people that are at least known by other people to use as a scapegoat, you know? They need to feed their egos and their cults and their bullshit. And it's like, at what point, though, you're losing a piece of yourself every time you allow that shit to happen. I refuse to do it. Like, what is the reason? Like, what? Nan never asked for a single thing in return other than to be treated with kindness and respect. That's it, right? That's it. She never asked for anything in return for all her own hard-earned money that she has shared with all of these people. And I see all the time, like, if you go back to like before it was just Mike and Brian that she supported, a lot of it was she supported Jess, she supported Aiden, she supported all of these people. And they would consistently get $200 in one super chat in a whack. So like 2 or 3 of those per stream, right? Like, and you couldn't just treat her with the basic kindness and respect. Like, that was her way of saying, like, I'm going to help prop you up and I'm going to help support you, because there's a lot of other people who can't monetarily help support a channel, right? And so if you can, and you have that kind of money that you can give like that, it takes a lot of pressure and stress off of that creator's shoulders and allows them to breathe, where they're like, okay, I'm bringing in money, so I can sort of take that pressure off of my shoulders, right? And I can just go with the flow. These people chose to double down and triple down and be even worse just because they're shitty humans. But any normal person would have been like, cool, that allows me to breathe, you know, and give some room for breath. And they couldn't appreciate that that's what it was giving them, right? She never asked for a single thing in return. She didn't say, I'm going to support your channel and you're going to have to do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to support your channel and you have to let me come to this thing or that thing. None of that happened, right? They used and abused people who were helping them, and not just Nan, but many other people. But they go hard for her because she gave more money. Make that make sense, dude, right? Make that make sense. I could never treat people who support me in that way. And the way that they speak about any of the people that help support them behind closed doors is even worse, even when they're supporting them. The shit that Aiden and his crew say about these people, making fun of them, the way they look, the way they sound, the way they talk, what they like, all of it, though they're annoying, or they just want to do this, or they just want to be making these vast assumptions about everyone simply because they're bored with life, apparently. I don't know. But it's deranged. You know what I mean? Like, it's gross. Well, that's the thing, right? If you share his own words from his own mouth, like he makes people go there and like mass report you, it's insane. They do project a lot of their own insecurities on the rest of everyone else. And a lot of the time what they're accusing other people of doing are the things that they were doing right that minute. Jerry Springy. Jerry Springy. It's very Jerry Springy of them. Very, very Jerry Springy of them, you know? Oh my God. But it's like, it is like, why, you know, like why, for what? I think, yeah, there's a lot of fragile egos and low self-esteem and trying to belong somewhere, you know, but the amount of stories though, Allie, that have been made up about people, including myself, Leah, many, you know, Nan, plenty of other people from both sides of the fence. Like, if you breathe the wrong way, the sewer crew will choose to destroy you. And if they have nothing to destroy you with, they will simply just make it up. They will simply this is why when people say to me, like, I don't care about speaking up against any of these people because they don't have anything on me. There's nothing that they could say or do about me. I haven't done anything wrong. And I'm like, it's not about that. You could have been a perfect person your entire life and not had a single fucking traffic ticket. They will just make it up. They will just make it up. Even people who have something that's old, they'll use that, something from 10, 20, 15, 5 years ago. And then on top of that, they'll make up 7 other things to go with it, you know? Ooh, lobster. I haven't had lobster in, oh God. It's probably been years since the last time I had lobster. Literally. So good though. My grandfather used to do like a lobster 4th of July steam every year. God rest his soul, when we were kids. And obviously the adults loved it because he paid for it. Super Bowl, Super Bowl. Patriots are in the Super Bowl. They are all rubbernecks. I fully agree with you there, chicks. You know, it's crazy. Crazy. So weird. I don't know why the hell. I mean, my monetization is working perfectly fine. So I don't know. I'm definitely going to have to reach out to them and be like, what is going on? Weird. Weird, weird, weird. I agree with you there. You know, it is weird. It's weird. It is weird. And you don't have to, you know what I mean? Like that's the exact point, chicks, right? And it's like you don't have to like someone to know when they're being treated wrongly, right? Like I don't have to be the biggest fan of anyone, but if I'm seeing something that I know is wrong, why should I keep my mouth shut? You know what I mean? Like simply because I don't like them. Well, for me, that just doesn't seem right, right? Like it just doesn't seem right to just sit there and not say anything, even if I don't like that person. Even if I don't like them and I know something is being said about them that just simply isn't true. Like for me, at least I can only speak for myself. I feel like I have to speak up because it's not about who you like or don't like. It's more about what is right and what is wrong. You know, it just, for me, it is, you know, I can only speak for myself. I can't speak for anyone else, you know? And I think Chicks is right. You get what you allow, you know? Yeah. See what the fuck is going on? It's so frustrating for a small creator like me when something like this happens. But that's okay, guys. I will figure out what's going on with it. But no, she never asked for anything in return. You know, not a goddamn thing. And it's like you couldn't even treat her with basic kindness, you know, just basic kindness. Let me see if I can make sure. I know I turned the monetization on, so it's not like it's not on, that's for sure. Let me double, triple check here. Monetization, it's on. Because you have to make sure your monetization is on. If there's even the option for the super chats, they should be working. But let me just Google real quick and see. But I guess that's also why we always offer like the most direct routes too. You know, that's why we offer. Oh, there goes one. Valley Girl sent one. I don't know if maybe it's the U.S. that's not working because obviously this is not U.S. money. But thank you, Valley's Girl. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It might be maybe the U.S. version. Let's see. Let's see. Technical glitches, payment method issues, strict filters. Let's see. Weird. It's weird. I don't see anything right now that isn't working. Weird. Unavailable. Super chat glitches, often appearing as unable to send message errors, are commonly caused by unstable internet, outdated app versions, or payment method issues. Okay, well, that's clearly not it. It's got to be something that YouTube is dealing with. I'll have to reach out to like the help after and see what the hell is going on. You know, that's a lot of people know that story, but I think you're right here, right? Like Federer was probably too scared to disassociate from him because he knows he'll probably get screwed over if he does. I mean, you're right. Look at what happens to anyone who walks away from him. Plus, he's likely already got veiled threats from TV will happen to him if he does. I guarantee you he has. Guarantee you. You know what I mean? Jess Machado going after MLF for what? She's just a regular person. She's a regular person, and that is exactly what targeted harassment is, you know? Yeah, the pinned link that I have at the top is probably the easiest way for any of you right now. If the super chat isn't working, that can work for any credit or debit card and just goes right to my PayPal. You don't have to have PayPal for it, but I don't know why it's not working right now. No idea. But it's, I've heard 2 stories about what happened with his job. I cannot speak to what did or did not happen with his job. All I know is that he's not a teacher any longer, and he was a teacher. And to think that he was a teacher is kind of fucking horrifying. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe they're just jealous because she had the money. And it's like, it's her money though, you know, like it's her money. Well, it's her money. So she can spend it anywhere she wants, you know, She can send it anywhere she wants to send it, you know? And yeah, maybe it's that they're just miserable, you know? Maybe that's it. I don't know. I feel like there's always you guys are always appreciated, every single one of you, you know? Oh, they have a lobster bisque. Ooh, girl, that's kind of smart. Fresh lobster parts to throw in it. Oh, to like enhance. Ooh, that sounds so good, girl. But that's the thing. She made it all herself, you know? Like it doesn't, right? My mouth just started to water as soon as I started to read it. Like, that sounds so good, you know? Yeah, well, I think that's probably it is. You know, she donated lots, so she got targeted, you know? I used to make big donations on Twitch when I worked more and wasn't just a student. I got targeted. Well, that's sad though. Like, why is it like, listen, it doesn't have to be a creator I like, right? But I can appreciate somebody wanting to ease the pressure for a creator, especially smaller ones. Like, I definitely feel that pressure, right? I am not a large channel. I'm not 10,000. I'm not 20,000, right? So I feel that pressure a lot, and a lot of small channels do. That's why I try to like save up my Google Play points and go to small channels and like send super chats with my Google Play points, because I can't afford to use like my regular money for it. So I save up those points, and you can turn those into the Google Play points into like Google Play dollars, and you can use those for super chats, which is kind of cool, right? But I try to do it because I want to help boost other people, even if they don't talk about the same subjects, right? If they don't do law, if they do building instead, you know, or animals, like I don't care what they do. It's really fucking hard for smaller creators. So if there's a way that I can help support them in any way, I'm going to do it. If it's calling out, if they, you know, calling up the name of their channel or putting up the link or whatever I have to do, like I support them, you know, it is, right? See something, say something, but I feel like too many people are too afraid, you know, and it's like targeting people for helping. It's weird. It's working again. All right. See, I don't know why. Yeah, I mean, I think she likes to do it publicly though, as a show of support, which is why most people do it as a public show of support, to say like, I care about you, or like, I'm here, you know, like, and I get that. I totally get that. I mean, it's working at least for overseas. This one is from overseas. So I don't know if it was just tried 3 times the super chats ain't working. Yeah, it must be just overseas. I don't know. It doesn't look like it's working for. Yeah, see, she's in Wales in the UK. Thank you, Valleys girl. So I don't know. It must be something with the US one that's not working. Here, I don't know. Florida lobsters look like dodo. I prefer those big fat red New England ones. Me too. Oh my God, they're so good. But I'm also from New England, so I'm biased. Okay, I'm biased. I am biased. I wasn't watching the Karen Read trial. Mainstream media coverage free, said indie media or social media coverage. From your perspective, when did the free Karen Read movement start, and when? So I would say if the movement itself started in 2023, I would say the beginning of it was probably April 2023. And that's when I think it sort of started a little. And then I would say it was bigger by like that summer of 2023. Now, what I will say is Aiden destroyed a lot on his way to trying to make this thing. He pushed away a lot of people who were there early on, who saw his behavior very early on and dipped out after that. They were like, yeah, no, I don't want no fucking part of whatever the fuck he's doing at this point, because he's just a bad person. He would try to undercut people. He was like, people were trying to help out whatever way they could. So if people made bracelets, they were making bracelets and selling them, like whatever they were doing. He was demanding a cut of bracelets a woman made that was putting on the Justice page. He wanted $3 from every bracelet because it was a simple turtle on the bracelet. Like, he was trying to get his hands in anything and everything that had anything to do with it, and people were really just turned off, you know? And so as many people as there was in early 2023, by 2024, Karen Read's team had to hire crowds on demand because they had lost so many people who were there in person and boots on the ground. And so that just tells you how many people sort of exited, you know? Why does it keep doing that? Oh my God, let me shut that part off and see if that helps. Let me turn that part off and see if that makes a difference. Let's see. Weird. Let me turn subscribers only off and see if that changes anything for you being able to comment, because it shouldn't keep doing that to you. You're already subscribed, so you shouldn't be able to, it shouldn't tell you have to wait 3 minutes if you're already subscribed. So shut that part off. So we'll see if that makes a difference for you to be able to comment. Weird. Due to processing delay, privacy settings or a sync error. It's probably a sync error, I'm guessing, because I can't see it being, it's not privacy settings. It's all, the monetization's on. So I don't know. It might be because I forgot to turn it on before the stream and I turned it on like during the stream. That could probably be it. Might have been my fault. You know, but I mean, we do have the pinned link that you can use. Well, that's the thing. I think she's already said that, you know, Jay-Z is right. I think Jess has like admitted that at some point, that like drama sells. I have to, because drama sells. And at one point, I think her husband said like, you know, well, we'll just do it because it's drama and people will send it. Like, and it's like, I'm not doing that. I fucking refuse, you know? And she is generous, and you're not going to find too many people like that. So it's like, is it worth it to treat someone like shit simply because the sewer turtle or Jimmy want you to? Is it worth it? Like, what is worth it to you? Is worth it to lose really good people that are watching you and supporting you and like just being good people, even if they're there every single day and they've never donated a penny to your channel? Like, they're there every stream you do. Like, does that not mean something to you as a creator? Because it certainly does to me. It makes the difference. That is someone who is supporting you. Not everyone can afford to give money to a channel. But if they're there every stream and they're hitting the like button and they're commenting and they're engaging in your content, like, how do you not take some damn appreciation for that? I just don't fucking get it. How do you not appreciate that is a huge part of why you have subscribers to begin with? You know, like, that's freaking weird, you know? And I agree with Amy, like, we need to change that in some way because it's nuts, you know? It's nuts. Yeah, sometimes YouTube will unsubscribe you if they think your like profile is like part of spam, or if they think that you like subscribe to too many people or not enough people and they think you're like a spam profile account, they'll like automatically unsubscribe you, which is fucking annoying, but they do it. You know? Yeah, so as far as I know, he's shown no receipts that he gave that money, and Meredith had kept counting him for an entire year to give her part of that fundraising money that he had never given, and he refuses to show any receipts for it. You know, who said that? Some jealous streamer told people anyone who has YBE as a mod or accepts my money, he was take down, and I support a small channel. That's just gross. Who does that? Like, why follow someone around like that? It's just fucking weird, you know? Like, shout out to the plus, Hofford Mold Wales. Shout out. By the way, LTL is getting lots of views on his Epstein show. Guess Jess is gonna cry. Epstein is a big thing right now. They just dropped 3 million documents, you know? Oh yeah, crap. I had that up. Hold on. Judge Belazos interim order on Commonwealth versus Kearney. Onward to trial. That's what Kate said. So let me see. We got here. We got a document. Let's see. Yeah, it's got to be YouTube, and it might be because I didn't turn on the monetization until I was already live, and that might be my bad. I appreciate it. Oh, you don't like my eyeshadow, LOL Robert? I wore it just for Sims like you. I wore it just to piss off Sims like you. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? I love how it triggers so many fucking idiots. You know? Let's see. This morning she said she needs someone to mock. I mean, that's sad. Yeah, no, Hank would still have a conflict. She should mock herself. I think I would say April to October, probably. April. It would be April. Yeah, I'd say April. April-ish. But yeah, it would still be a conflict. Thank you, Valleys girl. I mean, I tried. I didn't want to butcher it, but I tried, you know? I tried. Okay, I love how it bothers. This is specifically, when I put this shirt on today, I was like, oh, I'm totally going to go with green and blue eyeshadow. It's going to trigger the fuck out of the cult. And here we are. And we have already triggered 2 of the cult members who have come here. Okay, so Dave Navarro used to wear blue eyeshadow. She's clueless. I just do it because it triggers them at this point, you know? It bothers them for some godforsaken reason. All right, so let me see if I can just make this a little bit bigger. I don't think I can because it's on. I can't. Okay, so it says, after the hearing on January 30th, 2026, the court makes the following interim order. The court will defer on any ruling regarding papers number 110 and 117 until March 13th, 2026, and no later than March 6th, 2026, Special Prosecutor Cosgrove will inform the court in writing if he intends to have an assistant special prosecutor available at trial in the event that Ms. Catani is called to testify at trial. In the event that Special Prosecutor Cosgrove intends to have an assistant special prosecutor available at trial for the purpose of cross-examining Ms. Catani, such assistant special prosecutor must file their notice of appearance with the court no later than November 23rd, 2026. So essentially the judge is saying, I am not going to say that we're going to dismiss Cosgrove, and the workaround for that is he's basically saying he's going to defer any of the rulings on that stuff until March 13th, and that the Cosgrove has to tell the court by March 6th if he's going to have a assistant special prosecutor available to question Lindsay if they bring her in to testify, which I highly doubt that they do. And that if he's going to have someone testify, he's going to have someone question her as an assistant special prosecutor, then they have to be filing their notice of appearance by November 23rd, 2026, which is a long way from now. The footnote says the court reserves on any ruling as to the scope and or admissibility of any potential testimony by Ms. Catani. So they're reserving on any ruling as to the scope and or admissibility of anything that she has to testify to. So basically what the court has said is, onward, we're moving forward. Like, we're moving forward. They're not just taking Cosgrove off the train without trying to give a workaround for that one person. Because if that's their concern, is bringing Lindsay as a witness, well, if they don't bring her in as a witness, well, then that's resolved. If they don't use her as a witness, well, that's resolved. And I suspect what Cosgrove's going to respond is, I need to know if they're actually going to bring her as a witness, because we're not going to hire a assistant special prosecutor and pay someone if they never intend on using her as a witness, which I suspect they never do. I suspect it is a bluff. So that is what the court has decided. And this is from the Superior Court. This is from Judge Belazos. And clearly this judge is just not fucking around. You know, he's just not fucking around. You know what I mean? It's weird. Isn't that weird? How Bettero does all of his YouTube interviews, but doesn't go on his own client's show. Make it make sense, you know? Wonder if putting the emojis is like sending out the back signal for ratchets. It could be, JC. It could be. Yeah, I just read the fine print at the bottom. That's the footnote. It says this court reserves on any ruling as to the scope and or admissibility of any potential testimony by Ms. Catani. That's what it says. Her dramatic as relevant. Well, she's not relevant. I think she knows that at this point. And that's the thing. So Cosgrove will basically just get help. But I suspect Cosgrove's answer to that will be, well, I need to know if they're actually going to call her. Otherwise, why the f will we hire a assistant special prosecutor? You know what I mean? Why would we do that? We need to know if they're actually going to call her or not. You know? Yeah, the mega motion was a mega joke, in my opinion. You know? It's just crazy. Good for you, Sam, because more people need to. You know? Oh, thank you, Hannah. She said, people hit the like button. It helps, Elise. Thank you so much, Hannah. I appreciate that. Better really wet the bed with this one. No, he shit the bed with this one. Mega motion equals mega mess. I feel like it equals mega disaster. What they actually put in that ridiculous mega motion was so fucking absurd. I would be embarrassed to turn that into a court. You know? So yeah, so if the defense calls her, then he's got to have an assistant special prosecutor question her. I don't think that will happen. I honestly think they're bluffing. You know what I mean? That would cause a lot of back and forth for them and might end in disaster for them. And I highly doubt that they're going to take that risk. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, they're going to say that the judge is corrupt and blah, blah, blah. You guys know that that's that's what's going to happen. Like, they're going to say, oh, the judge is just corrupt. The judge has Turtleboy derangement syndrome. It's the judge. It's the judge. Everything is corruption. It's a conspiracy against the turtle. Like, that's what they're going to claim. I can already hear it, before they even say it, because that's essentially what they bitch and whine about, like, that's what they bitch and whine about. It's ridiculous, but it's true. That's what they do, Sorry, my phone is like freezing right now. I have a $10 donation. I'm not going to read the person's real name, obviously. And it says, just a little something to support your efforts. Thank you, Steve. Well, what are his names? Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that very, very much. That one came in from the link that's at the top of the chat. So thank you. Thank you very much. How soon till his next gonna need more funds post? Probably immediately, right? So I'll tell you why, Loss. All right. He's already like, so here's the thing, right? Is there has been a very large, and I can tell you this from experience, a very large push in the legal community of attorneys that do not want to deal with Aiden at all. I literally mean at all. So when they found the special prosecutor here, they went through many, many other people that just flat out said no. Like, no, we don't want to deal with him. We do not want our families, our law firms, our children, and our wives drugged through the mud and had them blasted all over the internet because a blogger doesn't like that we made, that we're prosecuting. And so many attorneys flat out said, no, we want nothing to do with anything that has to do with him. And because nobody's required to do this job, right? Nobody's required to be a special prosecutor or an assistant special prosecutor. They could have a hard time finding someone who will do it, if Cosgrove was to be replaced. And that is what Aiden and his team betted on, which is they remove Cosgrove and then no one else will do it and the cases will all be dismissed. That is what they wanted, okay? But the problem with that, right, is that Bradel himself has already called Lindsay a million names, right? And it's on record, right? He's called her a liar and a this and a that. And to be fair, at the time, some of the shit he was like calling her a liar about, she wasn't lying about. Like, this is stuff that like Aiden did, right? He did, right? And it's like 90% of his story matched what she was saying anyway. But like back then, he's going for his client, so he's calling anybody else a liar and pointing fingers at everyone else. But unreliable, that's what it was, unreliable. And so he called her all these things in court and said she shouldn't be a witness. She's unreliable. She's not credible. Blah, 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 this, that, and the other thing. And it's like, there's no way that he's going to get around now saying that it's all credible and it's all grand and it's all great. It's all like, that's not going to happen, right? Like, that's a huge issue with, and that's the other thing too, is claiming the things that they claim and showing them whether they're actually relevant is number one, because most of it's not relevant. What they did 6 months later, whether they followed him one time, and it wasn't followed him, it's they went to the police station and he was there. And that is because the police station had called Lindsay and asked her to come in for questioning, if I remember correctly, because of the fake and false claim that he made against her. So they knew he was going to be there. So it's like, they didn't follow him for 6 months, dude. They went to see what he was doing there, I believe. And even so, like, I wasn't there. I don't know how it all went down, but I know that nobody followed him after that. He wasn't followed for 6 months. Like, he wasn't, you know what I mean? Nobody went around following him every day, all day. Like, it was in the area where they were, like, and he was making false claims and false police reports, So it's like, how they think that they're going to get around saying she wasn't credible before and now claiming that everything's credible, and also get around the fact that none of what they're claiming is relevant to his case. Nobody gives a shit what happened 6 months after he committed the witness intimidation. She cannot be a witness to anything that happened with the witness intimidation because they were not together then, right? So anything that she has to be a witness to is shit after he committed the crime. And he's not saying that he didn't commit the crime. He's not arguing that he did not commit the crime. He's arguing that it's First Amendment protected. As the judge very well pointed out, is that he's not arguing that he didn't do it. He's arguing that it's protected by the First Amendment. Like, come on. Like, ridiculous. I don't know. Well, that's another thing. If Cosgrove brings that up, they very well might be like, no. that's too much of a conflict. Like, there's no way, the judge can limit what someone's going to testify to, what they're allowed to bring up, what the questions are allowed to be. Like, all those things can be limited. And again, the question is whether he committed witness intimidation, and did he, commit the crime, or is it First Amendment protected? Well, under our statute, what he did is not First Amendment protected. The way the statute reads, and has been upheld, I might add that it has been upheld as constitutional, is witness intimidation. So he can argue until the cows come home that it's First Amendment. What is that noise? Weird. But it's not. And so you can bring in all the witnesses in the world, but if you didn't even know this person until months after you committed what the government is saying is the crime, then they're not really going to be able to help you in that aspect, right? So, and also you can't, if you've changed your story multiple times, that's going to be a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's going to be a problem, a huge, huge problem. And I'm sure they'll be able to find an assistant to just question one person. I don't think it'd be as much of a hard time. I think if you were going to replace Cosgrove, you might have a problem finding someone to do the whole thing. But to just question the one person, I think they could probably find someone to just do the one, Yeah, that's a good question. I have no idea, J-Bugs. The Commonwealth will 100% always be prepared, just in the off chance that they do. I don't think that they wouldn't be prepared. I think they definitely will be prepared, But I think, listen, if I was still her friend, I would advise her as her friend that she should probably not testify. And if she does, she should probably get an attorney, because Aiden doesn't care if she gets charged with perjury. He doesn't care if she gets in trouble. All he cares about is getting out of trouble, right? He doesn't care what threats he has to give to make sure that she, says what he wants her to say or does what he wants her to do. It's just sad, It's just sad. Hello, Sassy's husband. Hello. I agree with you there, not sure, that he probably should negotiate a plea deal. But I highly doubt that Aiden would, or that the Commonwealth would give him one at this point until it gets closer to trial. If it gets closer to trial, I think they could negotiate a plea deal. I don't think it's going to be hugely beneficial in his favor, considering one wiretapping charge is a felony and carries 10 years. Just one carries 10 years. So, he doesn't have a huge criminal record, but all of the things that he has done at this point, I think you're looking at least 2 to 5, in my opinion, is what they would, 2 to 5. I'd say 2 to 5 years would be a deal for him. Because again, one of them carries 10 years. They're a felony. One witness intimidation charge carries 10 years. So if he has multiple of those, right, and they're not going to give him the maximum on all of them, but if you put them all together, if they gave him a year on each one, or 6 months on each one, you're still looking at around 2 years to 5 years would be my guess. Now, whether they decide to suspend that sentence or reduce it or give him 2 years with 2 years probation afterwards, they can do many things when it comes to a deal. But what incentive do they have to give him a good deal? Unless he gives them up some serious shit, No, it's a conflict. So you won't see Hank. It's a conflict. He can't do this case. But I do think it would be interesting to see what deal could or would even be offered. I think he'll be begging for a deal before trial comes. That's for damn sure. Whether they choose to give it to him is another thing entirely, It's not material to any of the facts of the witness intimidation. And that's sort of what the judge was getting to, which is that it's not what they're claiming in their, quote, mega ridiculous motion. None of that is relevant to whether he committed witness intimidation or not. That's the legal question in front of them, right? And he's not arguing that he didn't do it. He's arguing that it's First Amendment protected, which, as I read under our statute, doesn't seem like it is, right? No. Oh my God, no, I didn't. Wait, what? Where is this? Tell us where it is, Jackie. That would be bananas, but for Hank, it would be a conflict. So you probably won't see that, because it would definitely be a conflict. But where can we find this, Jackie, so I can look? Let me see here what we're looking at. Hold on. Julie Carpenter posted it? All right, let's see. What is happening here, computer? Hold on, let me look. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, it's not. So I don't know. So what I'll just read the tweet that Julie put. It just says, below is a recent social media post by one of Boston Defender's children. I've blocked out the first name because unlike Karen Reed and David Yanni and their cohort, I don't do dog whistles. I wonder, David, when you told Aidan Kearney he was doing God's work as he relentlessly harassed the witnesses and their families and repeatedly published photo after photo of their social media, including family pictures, your client, Karen Reed, gave him if you thought about what it might be like if it were your family. I wonder, David, when you were destroying Colin Albert's life with baseless accusations, if you thought about what it might be like if it was your son. I wonder, David, when you set out to damage and attack Allie McCabe during a nationally televised trial, if you thought about what it might be like if it were your daughter. I wonder, David. And it's just a screenshot, just says, I hate cops. I mean, he's a lawyer's kid, so it doesn't really, I would expect not public defender, but like a criminal defense attorney's kids to probably not be too fond of cops. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see a huge gotcha there, other than I don't know how old David Yanetti's children are, if they're like little kids or older kids or even adult kids. But I think I wouldn't listen, I don't hate the cops, but I don't love them either. I've seen a lot of them do a lot of shitty things, but I've also worked with them on advocacy issues and people. And so I can tell you that there's sort of a happy medium of shitty cops and not shitty cops. There are really great ones and there are not so great ones in any other profession, there just are in everywhere and anywhere. But I certainly definitely wouldn't expect a defense attorney's child, son or daughter, to love the cops. I mean, they're defense attorneys' children, so they probably hear often about things that the cops fucked up on. They're probably not hearing about the good stuff that the police do, and there's a lot of good stuff the cops do sometimes, right? That we just don't hear about because no one wants to hear about it, And same with prosecutors. You're going to expect the prosecutors' kids are going to love the cops, and you know what I mean? So, and that's the other thing. I have friends who either used to be cops or are cops, right? And some of them don't do that sort of new school shit where a lot of the rookies now get a little bit of power and they're just screwing everyone for all sorts of little things. And then you think about the cops of our age, if you're around my age or older, where if they caught you with beers when you were 19, or 20, that they would just dump your beers and tell you to go home, Nowadays, a lot of them don't do that. They will literally take you down to the police station, arrest you for underage drinking, and your license will be suspended before you even get your license. I watched this happen, and it's kind of disturbing because I'm when I was a kid, they just dumped your beers out and told you to go home, right? And I think that's what should happen. because they're kids. They're going to make mistakes. Like, I don't think they need to have a record, even as a juvenile or as a young adult, for underage drinking. Like, we all did it, including all the cops who are arresting these kids for doing it. So let's not be hypocrites. You know, there's discretion for a reason. And so, like, I would expect that, you know, like from a kid, teen, or, you know what I mean? I would expect from a defense attorney's child to not love the cops, you know? Well, see, that's the thing, right? If you're a dick, that you deserve it, right? Like, don't be a dick for no reason. No, I highly doubt he's going to reply. But yeah, teens are someone's child, you know? Like, I have a teen. It's my child. She's still a teen, right? And I also have a 21-year-old, but she's still my child, you know? The issue is the institution, not necessarily the individuals. I can agree with that because a lot of it is learned behavior from higher ups or just passed down along the way that this behavior is acceptable, you know? That's what happens, you know? No, it's definitely free speech for sure. I mean, I could not care one way or another. I didn't expect a defense attorney's kid to love cops, to be honest. You know what I mean? Oh, they made him I don't know if it's a him or a her, but why make him deactivate it? Like, for what? I mean, for what? You know? I mean, people don't have to like me, but I would hope that my kids wouldn't be the target of that, you know? And can't catch me, copper! Every time someone says copper, it makes me think of the old school like mob videos where they're on the pinstripe suits with the hats, and they're just like in the car, and then they're saying that like, "You can't catch me, copper!" Like that's what that's what my brain goes to immediately when someone says that. That's what my brain goes to. I don't know if anybody else's brain goes to that, but that's where mine goes to, you know? Listen, I fight fire with fire for certain things. Kids, no. Families, no. I fight like someone being an insulting fucking asshole by just letting them know they're being an insulting asshole and revealing the really shitty things they did, like aiming to hurt people while they were hiding that very same behavior from the public. But when it comes to doing this kind of stuff, children, I don't care if it's an adult child, I don't care. Like my oldest daughter is 21, okay? She's still my child. And she's the one that I have with medical, right? She's got a lot of medical issues. And so, like, I make as much time as I can for my child because I don't know how long I have. Even me, I could get hit by a bus tomorrow. You don't know how long someone's on this earth. I've lost too many loved ones to not want to make the most of what I have with the people that I care about. Which is probably why I don't hold grudges. A lot of you will see me unblock people, you know, on Twitter. Somebody asked like, "Hey, can you have," or somebody inboxed me yesterday, "Can you please unblock my cousin so-and-so?" And I was like, sure. As long as, like, at that point that I have unblocked you, you're not going to be an asshole, then water under the bridge, right? Water under the bridge. I've gotten a lot of messages from people who are just like, I apologize for just believing shit he said and just not looking into it. And like, I just want to say, like, I actually love your content. I watch your show and I might not comment, but I do enjoy your stuff. And I just want to apologize for sort of being in that mindset of just believing everything. And like, those touch me because if you can come to that realization, right, that like, wait a second, maybe you were just following along with what Aiden was doing, even if you weren't jumping in on it, right? Like, but you were still just believing it. Even if you took no action on it, believing it in itself about someone, right? Like that should be something that you reflect on later on, you know? Yeah, I just read it. It wasn't denied, but it was deferred, basically. The judge is not making any decisions on that yet. But essentially what he said was like, get an assistant special prosecutor is what he said, you know? Like, yeah, they're kids, dude. I don't care if they're 10, 12, 15, 16, like that's not going to help anything, right? Like it's really not going to make a point in my opinion. But again, to each his own, that's not my forte. Most of you know, like I could have outed a lot of free Karen Read people for who they believed me to be up until Aiden told them to hate me, right? A lot of these people would message me often and be like, "Oh my God, I love your content and I think you're so smart and blah, 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 blah." And then the second Aiden told them not to, that snap went right off. "Oh, you're horrible. You're a terrible person." Like all, you know, the whole cult-like ability. And I could have put out all of those messages and all of those screenshots a long time ago, but it serves no purpose other than to hurt someone. And even if it's someone I don't like, it's not something I want to do. It's not something I've ever done, is throw out screenshots of private conversations just for funsies. In the very rare occurrence that I need to defend myself against a lie, then I have no choice at that point. But I'm not just going to do it because it's going to hurt someone or just make them look foolish. I'm not in the business of making people look foolish for fun, right? I'm not. That's not how I operate. It's not how I've ever operated. It's not how I choose to do things, you know? Gangster rap and tune out. I love you. Ooh, pursuits. Those probably would have been so fun. Damn it. Too bad you're not a trooper here anymore. We could do a ride along. That'd be so fun. Do a ride along. No, I'm just a human. And I learned over time, and it took me time. I mean, it's going to take everyone time, you know? I learned over time that you don't have to go with the flow of what people want you to do or think you should do. You can just be you. You can just be you. You don't need other people's pat on the back or trophy or cookie, or you don't need that. Just be you, man. Just be you. And try to see the goodness in the world, even when there's a lot of shit. Believe me, we all have our days where we're just like, everyone sucks and everything sucks. I have them too. You know, I have them too. I have them, you know, I'm not the only one. We all have them. But I can also realize when people in a group want me to trash this person or that person because they don't like that person. I make my opinions based on how someone treats me. I don't make my opinions based on what the group of people wants me to do. Even a small group of people. I talk to people who don't talk to each other. I talk to people who don't like each other, right? Plenty of you guys do. And that's okay, because my relationship with you is separate from my relationship with this person. Whatever I talk to this person about, I don't need to talk to you about. And whatever I talk to you about, I don't need to talk to this person about, because those relationships are separate and apart. And I think people really have a large problem with keeping relationships separate, especially with people who don't like each other. Some people do the whole like, oh, this one's talking shit about this one and that one's talking shit about that one. I don't want to engage in that. It's not my forte, right? Like, I'm not going to engage in that kind of behavior. Like, I am going to keep my relationships with people separate. What they tell me privately is what they tell me privately. It's not my job to share it with the world. Even if we were no longer friends and I no longer talk to you, it's not my job to share your secrets with the world, because at some point you told them to me because you trusted me. And even though we're not friends anymore or we don't talk anymore, doesn't mean that I'm going to go spew your secrets to the world. It's just not the right thing to do. And maybe it's, like I said, because my grandparents taught me, you know, and they were old school. But I mean, everyone is different, you know? Yeah, not cool, dude. It's a kid. You know, I mean, even a young adult kid like mine, you know, it is what it is. Which child, it says, auntie, which child us thus you? I have many children that call me the auntie. You know? It's just sad. You know? It's just sad. It's like, we can do better as humans, as people. We can do, oh, check my DMs. I shall do that. Hold on. We can do better as people. You know? Like, we just can't. We simply can't. Interesting. You have to play this. Right. Deal with it one person to one person. Like, it doesn't need to be like a whole rigmarole, you know? Yeah. Carpe diem, man. You know? I get the rationale. He went after, you know, Ellie McCabe and Colin. What happened to Colin was awful. I think most people can agree now. Colin Albert was not there. He had nothing to do with anything. Like, that's why it wasn't brought into the second trial, because they knew his location. They had his GPS coordinates. He was not at the house. He was gone before Karen and John arrived at the house. It had nothing to do with a single thing. And that kid couldn't even go to college and play football. He had to withdraw because of the harassment that he was getting, right? And Allie McCabe too. The shit that those kids had to deal with is not acceptable. It is not okay. But it also doesn't make it okay to do it to someone else. And that's kind of what I'm trying to stop when it comes to with Aiden. Like, I'm not going to do what he does to other people, right? Because that would be like a double negative, right? Like, how could I fight against what he does if I'm doing the same thing, right? I'm not doing that. Not doing that. What I will do, though, is call out his bad fucking behavior. What I will do is I will stand beside the victims. what I will do is I will make sure that I keep talking about it, because if I just give up and go away, there's not going to be many people that are going to say it, right? And certainly there aren't a lot of content creators. There might be a lot of other people right now saying it, like on Twitter and stuff like that, but we don't have a lot of people content-wise that are saying it. Although I did listen to Keeping It Real. Is it Keeping It Real or Can We Keep It Real podcast YouTube yesterday? I think it's Can We Keep It Real, I believe. I forget. But he was talking about like the Aiden stuff. And there's not a lot of us out there, you know, small channel. I apparently had a channel before. I don't know anything about him. I don't know anything about that. But I was listening to what he had on Twitter yesterday. He did it was a stream, but like me, his goes to Twitter too. So I think Can We Keep It Real? It's called Can We Keep It Real podcast. And so I was listening to that, and I was like, he was at least saying things. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was at least saying shit about it. And so I can appreciate when someone else is speaking up when it comes to Aiden, because too many people are too afraid because of what has been done to other people. Well, let me see if I can find this thing, and then we'll play this clip here. Yeah, I don't know anything about him at all, other than what I listened to yesterday. But anybody who's willing to speak up has to be at least a little brave, you know, a little. But now that they involve kids, they have no argument. What don't they get? I mean, I get that. That's my point. It's like, can we not with the kid thing? Like, it's not like, come on, guys. We can do better than that, you know? Like, we can. We can be better. Like, that's the whole point, is being better than that kind of shit. What's this? No. Let me see if I can just write. I'm trying to see where. Hearing. There isn't. Where the hell is it, man? I don't see it on Law and Crime. Hold on. Okay, so it's not it. I'm trying to find anything to show where it is, but I don't see anything right now. Let's see. Let's see if I check on contract. I'm subscribed to that one, so let's see. Sentencing. Mass shooting, live mansion massacre trial, student murder trial. See 3 that are live now, but nothing. Yeah, I mean, everybody has their opinion on Lana's channel. Actually, somebody got me confused with Lana yesterday on a Spaces, and thankfully I had my hashtag Koala Crew, hashtag the girls, and Chris to sort of speak up and be like, I think you're confusing Elise with Lana from Truth and Transparency, which is exactly what happened. The woman was expressing a negative opinion, and she attributed, for some reason, my name to it, and other people were like, I think you're mixing about the Watts case. I didn't cover the Watts case. So she meant Lana, and so people in the chat, and then people I know popped up and were like, yeah, I think you're talking about someone different. And the lady was like, so yeah, I saw you. And I think that's originally what they saw, Sam, was your comment and Bonnie's comment. And that's what brought it up to their attention up on the panel, that she had confused me with Lana. I'm like, I don't know how you can give. First of all, we look completely different. We're 2 completely different channels. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that was but what I'll say about that is everything that sort of Lana is talking about right now are things that I've been talking about for 2 years. So to me, it's not like groundbreaking or, you know, all that for her to be doing it, because it's something I've been doing for a really long time. So yeah, we're like opposite. Like we're on up, you know what I mean? Like, so the stuff that she's going over is stuff I've been going over for 2 years. And I actually find it a little funny because some of the stuff that she goes over after I go over it, she uses certain phrases that tell me that she must have watched my stream, because only I would know certain things that she's sort of repeating in the context that she's repeating it in. And so and lately I've been like, what is really actually going on here? I don't know. Nonetheless, these are things I've been going over for 2 years on my channel. Like, so there's nothing new there, you know? Like, this is stuff that I have been hammering in for over 2 years. And most of these people who have been with me long term, like Julie can tell you, like this is nonstop me sort of hammering in these points of like the things that he does, who he is, the cases that have been brought against him before. You know, and that's the other thing, is she pushed his crap for many a moons. It's only recently that she has just turned it around. So it's like, no, no. Well, I mean, can't make people do it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but you did find me though, Sassy. You did, which is a good thing, you know? So I don't see anything yet that has popped up on Law and Crime's trial channel, but it very well might soon. I'm looking at, because they could just play it on one of the ones that's already on. Nothing yet, as of yet. But let me also check one other place. Because I know one of our local channels were covering it last time. Yeah, we're completely different as can be. You know? Let me see. What is happening here? Nope. No, that's not it. And you're right, she pushes stuff for a lot of time, you know? Well, you know, I see you. Well, Roberta's showing his old hearing right now. She's showing his hearing Aiden's hearing we played the other day. Oh, I guarantee you she'll play it. She'll play it. She'll play it because it'll make her money, you know? Well, you know, that's his opinion on the Reed case. I can't make him clear, you know. But right now, Roberta's playing Aiden's hearing from, I can see Bettero. I looked because said she was going to do it live, so I looked just to see what channel she was on. And Kevin's playing parts of the Reed trial, I believe. So that's not it. I don't see. Actually, let me check. It's weird because right now I don't think anybody has found it yet. Seems like no one's found it yet. Nope, not yet. Let's see. Let me see on X if I can see if anybody has found it yet. Nope. Austin 25. Nope. You tagged me? Good. Let's find it. Post is unavailable. Shit. I think it's because this person I have blocked for being nasty to me, but I found it. Okay. I can still go to it, still get the thing. Yeah, that account I blocked a while ago. They were really nasty to me. I have it. I got it on Law and Crime Trials. It just brings me to the page, though. It just brings me to the Law and Crime Trial page. It doesn't bring me to Karen's specific thing, which is weird. Even though it says live hearing, Karen wrongful death thing. I don't know why it's... I did turn the notification on. It must... Wait. It's not like on yet, which is weird. I turned the notification on. But he does cover, JFK does cover other stuff, you know? Well, I don't have to explain, but that account had been really nasty to me, and I don't obviously they don't know me, right? And so it's like, what bothers me the most when people are really nasty and they don't know me is like, you don't know me. You know what I mean? Like, you can pretend you do, you can act like you do, but you don't, you know? If you knew me, you wouldn't say this, this, or this, right? It's like you're getting your information from God knows who that says God knows what. Like, anybody who knows me in real life would laugh at some of the shit that these people say about me. It's just absurd. It's absurdity, you know? Yeah, I mean, a lot of people defend his charges, and at this point, it's kind of like, you know. And no, you shouldn't have to, but sometimes I do, just because I do unblock people. You know, I often will get messages from people who be like, "Can you unblock so and so?" And I'm like, "Yeah," like, you know, and usually when that happens, I never have to block the person again. It seems like they, you know, weren't assholes anymore. They kind of realized what they were dealing with. You know, it's weird. Weird. Hold on. Okay. What is this? Oh God. What is this? Oh. So I have it sort of on the screen here. It's that it's not started yet is the problem. And so that's why it's not popping up to that specific thing. If that makes sense to you guys. So I'm just making sure it's sort of on where it's supposed to be here. Sure, make money. I'm clueless, right? I'm right 9 out of 10 times, but yep, I'm definitely clueless. Why are you here then? Why are you here? If I'm so clueless, then how do I possibly predict things that happen? I guess I'm that clueless, huh? Bye. I love responding to some of the trolls because it's like, why are you here then? Go watch the turtle. Go watch the turtle. Go, go. Shoo, shoo. Cult HQ is calling. And it's like, I don't need to pander. I don't need to pander. I don't need to pander to trolls. I'll just boot you. It's that simple. I don't have to pander to get viewers. I don't have to pander to the likes of trolls. I will just block you from my entire channel, like I just did the last 2 idiots that hopped in. And they did that because I shut off subscribers only mode because it was giving you guys a problem. But this is why I keep subscribers only mode on, because then they actually have to subscribe and wait 3 minutes before they make some ridiculous assertion or insult that they think is somehow like oh my God, someone said something mean. I might not sleep tonight. Oh, the turtle cult came for me. I might cry. Like, stop with the madness, right? Incoming cultists, right? You can do that too, but the mute features and block features are amazing, right? You don't have to deal with them. It's amazing. It's amazing. Like, bye. Like, I'm quick on the trigger finger, dude. I will literally, like, your shit will sit there for maybe 10 seconds if I feel like entertaining your ridiculous comment just so I can laugh at it later. Like, just so I can laugh at it later, okay? That's it. 24 hours? What? That's just bonkers. That's cray cray. I mean, that's a little much. That's a little much. Melanie Little thinks she's that important, huh? It's interesting to me. Maybe she should brush up on criminal law then. She thinks she's so important. I feel like she should probably brush up on criminal law. Just saying. A 1-strike rule is probably good, Freeze. It's probably good. Still, so it's saying it's not going to start for another 9 minutes. You know, that's what it says. See that? Your comment was there for a whopping 3 seconds. Congratulations. Congratulations. Maybe 2 people saw it. Maybe 2 people saw it. Congrats. You trolled yourself. It's like if you have that much time on you, and most of the time it's the same troll just using multiple accounts. Literally. That's literally what they do. It's usually the same troll or same 2 or 3 people that know each other, and they just use fake accounts. Yeah, I have it up on the screen, but it's still counting down 9 minutes. So once it starts, I can put it on this screen, but it's still like only showing me the small version of it on whatchamacallit. Yeah, right? Well, I can ban them like outright, so we'll never see them again. I think my mods can only like time them out. You know what I mean? I think you guys can only time them out. I can block and ban, which means when they do write comments on my channel, because for some reason, like YouTube will still let them write comments, but the only people who can see them are them. You won't see them, I won't see them. So when my videos are up and they write like ridiculous comments, they don't know that no one sees them. Once you're blocked and banned from a channel, you can write comments, but no one sees them but you, the person who wrote it. So if I'm blocked and banned from someone's channel and I write a nasty comment, the channel owner doesn't see it. The people reading the other ones don't see it. Only the person who wrote it sees it. So I can only imagine them just like typing all these ridiculous comments for paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs, and no one but them sees it. Them thinking they're so happy they took their time to write 3 paragraph paragraph things. Can you? I don't know. Usually I'm told that you guys can just, I think it's time out. I have the block and ban option, which I assumed my mods should also have. But if you see trolls like that, just block and ban. If someone accidentally gets blocked or banned, you can send me a message later. But most of the time we're pretty good on knowing. See, after the stream, I can do that, but I can block and ban them from the chat. Like right from the chat. I can just block and ban from the channel right from the chat. So you'll never see that name pop up again until they make another fake account and pop back in. What I should do is just turn back on subscribers only mode so that they look even more pathetic than they already are by having to like actually subscribe to the channel to comment. Yeah, in chat. You should be able to have it in chat. It should be in chat, right? Like the 3 little buttons there that say delete comment, put user in timeout, or ban user and delete their comments. And it'll just boop, out they go, never to return. What time is it? 2:54. Keeping my eye on the time. Because this thing starts at 3. Let me just, let's see here. Yes, block, ban, remove, exactly. I forget. Maybe it was like a while ago, and maybe it's before I figured out like the tiers of like mods. Mods can have like different levels of there's different like levels of modding that YouTube gives you. You can put them on like the lowest where they can only do this, or this, or I just put them all on the highest. I put them all on the highest. They all have like the highest one, you know? Yeah, Julie just said that, but when I checked, she was showing Aiden's the hearing we did the other day, but I found it anyway to stream myself. It's on Law and Crime. Thank you, though, Melanie. Melanie, not little. Yeah, you are all equal. I put you guys all on the top tier of it, which is you guys can all do the same thing. Block, ban, whatever YouTube allows you to. I have no control over like what YouTube allows people to do, but custom 3 minutes. Member, no subscribers, not members, subscribers. Oop. Save. Now they have to actually subscribe in order to, run their fucking mouths. Run out of the side of their damn necks. Let's see. It's counting down, so it's on 3 minutes and 42 seconds. It doesn't let you like click on it, like watch. Yes, you are, Jack. It's nice to see you. I know that's why I said Melanie, not Little, because you're not Melanie Little. We wanted to make the differentiation that you weren't Melanie Little. That's why I said Melanie, not Little. She's Melanie, but she's not Melanie Little. No worries, my friend. Believe me, I totally get it. I think if you gave me a tablet right now, I probably wouldn't know what the fuck I was doing. I've only ever done stuff on the computer and then on my phone. I don't think I've ever used a tablet for this stuff. Maybe to watch once in a blue moon, but not for like actually doing stuff. So I probably would be completely lost if you handed me a tablet and told me to like do all this stuff, like modding and stuff. And you've been with me quite a while, Jack. Quite a while. 241, 240 is still counting down. For some reason, Law and Crime Trials isn't showing it to me like on their like thing, but I'm seeing it right here. So it's like it is and it isn't, which is so weird to me. Oh, here we go. It's now popping up. Here we go. Share screen. Share. Share. Oh, who shut their super chat thing off? I need to see all that. It's not necessary. Oh, it won't let me make it big yet until it starts. It won't let me make it big. That's annoying. Is it ass backwards? Yeah, see? Oh my god, you're so funny. I was having problems with my touchscreen and then I realized it's not a touchscreen. I love that. You're allowed to be absent. It's totally okay. Okay, Ellen. Everybody's allowed to be absent. You know, I know that you guys have, I'm fully aware y'all have lives and, you know, are doing stuff outside of being here. I totally get it. I can also do it myself. I am a big girl. I do love having you guys here though, you know. But we have people who pop in, you know, Julie pops in for us and Leah pops in for us. And so we always have at least one of you here, which I appreciate. I always appreciate that. Believe me, I have health problems like you, Ellen. I get it. I get it. I do. I understand it. They're always changing a medication, changing whether I'm trying to figure out this Cosentyx shot that they're trying to do for me for the psoriasis and the arthritis, and, you know, fight with the insurance company, fight with the, you know, blah, 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 back and forth, back and forth. As y'all know, that's exhausting in and itself. All right, we're down to, it says waiting for. Okay, well then why can't we make it bigger? Law and Crime, you're picking up my flow here. It won't let me make the screen. Like, I want to make the screen bigger. And it won't let me. It won't let me until it starts. And I feel like that has to be a setting, because I've had other ones where you can make it bigger before it goes on. But for some reason, this one does not allow me to do that. It's annoying. I'm also just checking to see if there's anything up, because you guys know, I get messages and all sorts of shit while we're streaming here about all sorts of different things that are going on or happening. And so I'm trying to see what I'm being told at the same time. Yeah, I will mute myself. I will have to anyway, because I'll be outside for some of it, so I'll have to mute myself. I'll be watching some of it from my phone, and I'll leave it on here when I have to go outside to the bus. Hey, Nina. So I will make the screen bigger for you guys as soon as it starts, and then when I go out to the bus, it's going to stay muted, and you guys will just have that screen. I won't be on. I'll shut my camera and my mic off, because I'll be outside for about 15 minutes waiting for my daughter's bus. Well, that's if it's on time. Sometimes it's late, but I know my mods can handle this while I'm gone. But I will mute myself. What time is it there, Nina? I love to, like, I always like when people live in different countries, I always like to see like what the time difference is. I don't know if that's weird, but I like to know what the time difference is. Like, is it 10 hours? Is it 12 hours? Is it 8 hours? Is it nighttime there when it's morning here? Is it morning there when it's nighttime here? Is it afternoon? Like, I don't know. I'm curious, George, I feel like. I know that like when Chris, it's like 2 here, it's like 5 in the morning or something. It's like early in the, oh, it's 9 p.m. Well, that's not too bad. I guess that's not, I mean, that's like right around like when I start to get tired. It's like 9, 10, I start to get sleepy. So it's 3 o'clock here. So that's not bad. It's about 6 hours. That's not bad. 6 hours isn't that bad. California's only 3 hours, but 6 hours isn't bad. It's 3:01 where, yeah, it's 3:02 here. Hey, girl, hey. Oh, it's 8 p.m. there. See, I love to see the differences. That's so cool. That's 3:02 here. I love it. Did you figure out your tweeter yet? You poor thing. Figure out your tweeter. Your tweeter. Why is this thing not starting? Come on now. I know. I don't understand how this keeps happening to you, man. I mean, to be fair, you have my number. You can just text me. But I don't know how it keeps happening to you. This is just bullshit. You need to call me and we need to just make sure that your 2-factor is on. You are 0 hours ahead and 0 hours behind. Because you in the same place as me, sir. Oh, it's friggin' freezing out today, Jack. And very, very slippery. Ice everywhere, so be careful. Aw, I love this. I love it. I love it. Love it. Aw, see? Mary, get all the love. All the love. I love it. All of the love. Girl, I'm glad you're here. It's nice to see you. I love when my peoples come in and say hi. I love it. I know that even if I don't like monetarily have a great day on my channel, like you guys always still make my day. You guys always still make my freaking day. Always. It's always make me laugh. You always make me smile. Like I appreciate you all. Dude, mine is bad. Like bad. And I walk up the street, obviously, for the bus. And it's just like straight ice. Like I swear to God, the plow driver that did my road was blind because I don't know what he was doing. He wasn't plowing correctly because all the other streets surrounding are fine. Like you're down to concrete and there might be some ice on the sides, but mine looks like crap. Like they did not do a good job on my street. I'll tell you that much. And so there's still just ice every freaking where. Everywhere. Like what is happening? Okay, hearing anytime now. I would like it to start before I have to go outside. That way, like, I can make the screen bigger because I can't make the screen bigger until it starts because I don't know why. Law and Crime must set it that way because I've been able to do it for other ones. Like, come on, Law and Crime. What's happening here? Actually, let me look around and see. I don't think anyone else has gotten it yet either. And they'll probably get the same thing. Yeah, no, they got the same thing going as I do. Waiting for it to start. Mm-mm-mm. Oh God, I forget the judge's name in this one. It's a good point. Let's see. It's vibrating. Here, let's see. What the actual hell is happening? What are they doing, dude? Like it's 3:05. Like, can we get the show on the road? Like, come on, man. Like, come on, man. What's going on here? I want them to do something so we can do this. Not yet. No, I'm gonna call again today and see if they want to make another comment. Right, sidebar. I feel like they're already at sidebar. I called yesterday for comment, and they gave me Leon, who I left a message for. Leon has not called me back. I'm gonna call again today and see if they would like me to continue waiting for Leon, or would they like to give actual comment? You know? Oh, might be. That might be it. Glanville or Glanville. He's the most tardy judge I've ever seen. Probably. I feel like that's probably his name. I feel like that one rings a bell. There's so many damn judges in all of this. So many. But I think that sounds familiar though. Like, what case was that judge on that it sounds familiar? Amber, which case do I remember that judge for? Right? Come on, Leon. Well, I'm not going to be too pushy. I called once yesterday. I didn't call more than once. I'm just going to call once today and ask them if they want me to wait for Leon. I asked for a press person, and they gave me the head of marketing. So I don't know. They said that was the guy. That was the guy. They said. Fulton County. Thank you. I knew of that judge from somewhere, and I'm like, I know that judge. Where is he from? Fulton County. Thank you. He was the Young Thugs judge. Yes. Oh my God, that fucking trial was. I watched that trial. I didn't stream the trial, but I watched that trial. Such an absolute shit show. Just, I don't even know what the hell was going on over there, to be honest. I really freaking don't. Yeah, he should have gotten the boot. He should have. That whole ex parte thing was weird as hell. Then you're trying to throw all the lawyers in jail, and the lawyer's like, if you're gonna put me in jail, can I go to the same jail that my client's at, please? Like the lawyer actually asked to be put in the same prison as his client. And I was like, that's a badass lawyer right there. You go, guy. You go. Like, I will never forget that trial for this shit show circus that was going on in that courtroom. That judge is woof. Woof. Yeah, I know. I was going to say, they think the Bev was bad with like shit she did. Like, whoa, no, that one was out there. Oh, is that what it is? Alan Jackson hasn't shown up yet? Well, what the fuck is he doing, dude? Like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they don't have a press person. I don't know. And they might not have a press person. I don't know. That's the best answer I can come up with is the head of marketing is the guy, but maybe he's also the press person. I don't know. She said head of marketing. That's what she told me. I said, are you okay? That looking for a comment press wise. And she's like, yeah, that's the guy. And I'm like, okie dokes. She gave me his number. He has a different number. Called, left a message. Haven't heard back from Leon. So I'm just going to call today and see if they actually have an actual press person or if they still just want me to wait on Leon. We'll see. We shall see. We can wait on Leon. I mean, dude, how are you late though? Like, come on, and you're out of state counsel, and arguing, not for nothing, but realistically, Alan Jackson's name is just on the paper to just be on the paper. He's not the one who's going to be arguing all this shit at all. It's going to be her other lawyers who specialize in this specifically. So why in the actual fuck are we waiting for the out-of-state attorney who hasn't shown up yet, who isn't actually even going to be arguing this shit? That's kind of, it's rude and it's unprofessional as hell. Why aren't you here yet, dude? Like, why? Then why aren't you? The judge gave him an option to do his part via Zoom, and they turned it down. So we'll see. I mean, maybe that's what it is. Maybe I was suspecting that maybe that's what they did is they have a small marketing team of people and someone handles the PR, and that's what Leon does. But I guess we'll find out, I mean, it very well could have been that nothing happened. We'll find out one way or another, Right? I mean, you're a lawyer though. How are you this late? I don't get it. And I have to go outside in a minute, so I might not be able to make the screen bigger, which I really would like to do. Oh, they're all sitting there on me. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. I mean, what is he doing? Did he forget? Does he seem to forget? What is happening? Well, while we're waiting, I'm gonna go put my boots on real quick because I have to go outside in a second. I'm gonna put my giant Snuggie on to go outside too. But while I'm doing that, can you guys give the like button a punch? I'd appreciate that. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you guys. If you'd like to, for some reason, I don't know why, but it's probably because I didn't turn my monetization on until I was already streaming because, I don't know, I space kitted it out. So, if you're in the US, for some reason, my like super chats or whatnot are not working. But we do have other options if you would like to monetarily support the channel. And we have, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Revolut, Chime, all of the options. Every single one of them are in the description of the video. These are the like most popular ones, including at the top of our chat. It's pinned to the top. There's a link that you can use your credit or debit card for. It goes to my PayPal, but you don't need a PayPal to do it. You can use any credit or debit card. You can just write you want to remain anonymous, and we don't usually say people's government names anyway, just because it's dangerous to other people. They don't need to have your whole government or even your first government. We usually just use screen names. If somebody writes it in the comments, they'll write, "This is, Jesse Capo," and I'll be like, "Oh, thank you, Jesse." You know what I mean? But if you prefer to remain just completely anonymous, you just write that in the little comment section, and we'll do that as well. Just give me a second so I can pop my boots on because I have to go outside in about 3 minutes. So give me one. You guys are gonna love this. This is literally my friend and neighbor got me this for Christmas because obviously we both are outside waiting for the kids on the bus. Sometimes we sit in her car and sometimes we stand outside, depending on if her husband takes that one or not. But we both got one. Hers is red, and she got me this purple one, and it's like a Snuggie, except it's not like Snuggie brand Snuggie. But when I tell you guys, this, is the most comfortable, warm Snuggie I've ever had in my life. I kid you not. And it's really long. It goes down to like my knees. So my Uggs go like up to almost my knees. So it's covering my whole body. My whole body. Watch this thing. It's so warm. And it's got 2 pockets, you guys. It's got 2 goddamn pockets. What more could you ask for? 2 pockets. Not just 1, but 2. All right? Look at this thing. It's got 2 pockets. You can put your cell phone in this pocket on the outside. Boop, boop, boop. And then it goes deep inside. So nothing falls out, like way inside there. Your hands are nice and toasty. So you just put your phone in this pocket. It's like a pouch from a kangaroo. I could put a Joey in there, which is a baby kangaroo. I got a few more minutes before I have to go out. And what's nice is my neighbor's child has like a watch. She can like call home from it. And the watch shows her location. So we can see when they've left the school and when they're almost at the bus stop. So we don't have to be out there for a long time in the freezing cold. So I'm going to ask her if they left yet. It's so warm. So warm. So warm. To the point where like when I come back in the house from being outside, it's so warm that I like start to sweat if I don't take it off immediately because that's how warm it is. But I wear my Snuggie and I'm warm. I don't have to worry about like, a jacket's warm and all, but I'm telling you, not as warm as this. This thing is like, I'm telling you. It's like a good hoodie. That's what it's like, except it's way longer. It goes down to my knees, a little bit past my knees. And my Uggs go almost up to my knees. So like my whole body is covered, Oh my God, what are they doing? What are y'all doing? Okay, they haven't left the school yet. She said she will let me know. Perfect. See? Switched it up this time. That's great. That's great. No problem so far. It's a good thing. That's what I do. I love it. Love that that's working out for you, Ellen. That's great. It's good to hear. I've not had great luck with roommates, that's for sure. Yeah, it's windy too, like very windy here. It has not been good. It's been freezing. What's happening over here? What's a fraudy? What's a fraudy? Is that like something that you guys have? I can't find snowsuits for kids anymore unless it's for a baby. Like, that's it. I can find them for babies, but I can't find them for like older kids, which is so weird. But I have onesies. I have like a party llama onesie. I have a Yeti onesie. So it's like a suit. It's like a suit. It doesn't have it. It's like feet are cut out, so you have to wear. No, it's not feety pajamas, but it's like that. Except it's not pajamas. You wear it over your clothes. So I have a party llama. I have a Yeti. I have one other one, but I can't remember. It's blue. Oh no, I have the cat one. It has like stars and moons on it with a cat hood. And a leopard print one. I'm telling you, they're so warm in the winter. I know. I have my neighbor, her daughter has her watch on her, so they haven't even left the school yet. It has like GPS on it. So I just texted her. I said, "Did they leave the school yet?" She said, "No, I'll let you know." So she usually will like text me and be like, "They've left the school," or "They're 4 stops away," and then I can go outside without being outside for 20 minutes, especially when they're late like this. Usually I go outside about 3:20-ish, and it might take another 10 or so, 15 minutes before they show up, and when they're late, even more. So it's nice when her daughter actually doesn't forget to take the watch, because then it tells us where they are. And she tells me. So I appreciate it, and I'm like, I need to get my child one of those, because it'll show her when they actually left the school and where they are and when they're close, which is nice. I couldn't sleep in thermals. I think it'd be too hot. It'd be too hot for me. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. You know? I love onesies. They're just warm. The warm ones, at least. They're comfy and warm. I loved when they started making feety pajamas for adults, because we're like children like that. When I was a kid, I used to love my feety pajamas, man. You do, right? Right? I mean, to be fair, there are apps you can download on your kids' phones, or I guess your husband if you wanted to. They're called ghost apps. And so you download it on your kid's phone and they don't even know it's there. And it gives you all their text messages, all their location data, their emails, and you can see everything from your own phone and the app that you put on your phone. And it gives you all their phone calls, everything. You get everything. So I guess you could use it for your husband. I use it for the kids, but yeah. He didn't like your questions. He doesn't like anyone's questions. Tells people to go die in a hole, you know? Yeah, I can't sleep in them because I sleep hot. I sleep hot. So like I need like cool air, or like, yeah, they're called ghost apps. Different ones. They're like collectively they're called ghost apps, but they have different apps that do all of that and you can download on your kids. They're for kids. Well, they're for my kids. Listen, it's not about spying, it's about making sure they're safe. You know, I need to make sure my kids are safe. And it's a way to make sure they're safe without them feeling like I'm spying on them. There's a big difference between me spying on them and them not, you know, and then me being like a hoverer and me spying just to make sure they're okay. They shouldn't be on, you know, things I don't want them on. They shouldn't be talking to people. You want to make sure your kids are safe. And I mean, I don't really have to worry about that with my little, because she doesn't have a phone or anything like that yet. She's too little. But I do still have a 16-year-old, and my 21-year-old's an adult, so I don't monitor her stuff. But my middle, I do. Girl, see, that's me. Like, I could sleep with the blanket on, but I would also need like the window cracked or the fan on, if that makes sense. Oh, you meant the husband. Listen, sometimes people need to be spied on. I don't spy on my husband. I don't even look at his phone. I don't need to. I know the exact time he gets out of work and when he should be home, because they have to be back by a certain time. World is dangerous, you know? right? Make sure you're safe, man. We need to make sure you didn't fall and go into a ditch and end up there, you know? We need to know. To be fair, my husband is not a tech person. He can barely use his own smartphone, all right? And he video chats me, like on his breaks. Like he's like, I know where he is at all times. Literally. He leaves, goes to work, video chats me on his breaks, and video chats me when he's getting out and waiting for a ride. Like, so I know where he's at and I know what he's doing. Although if I didn't, and he was my weirdo ex, I probably would download one of those apps if they existed at that point in life. They didn't, though, so they didn't exist back then, right? Don't fall in any holes. Aiden likes to talk about how everyone should die in a hole. Where do we find these holes, Aiden? Where? We know you like holes, but what the hell? Weird. Weird. I mean, my kids know I monitor them. And again, my adult child doesn't get monitored anymore because she's an adult, but my middle does, and she's fine with it because thankfully she's not doing anything fucking stupid. But there will be a point where she's too old to be monitored, and it's getting to that point. She's 16 and she's got to learn, you know, from her own mistakes, but she's not an adult yet. So until that time comes, I will make sure she is safe to the best of my ability as a parent. And my little doesn't have a phone yet because she's too young. She was trying to negotiate, okay, with me the other day about what age she should get a phone. I said, I do not negotiate with kidderists, all right? AKA kid terrorists. I do not negotiate with kidderists, all right? You are not getting a phone anytime soon. And she was like, well, Sissy got one when she was this age. And I was like, yeah, and you're not that age. You're not that age yet. She was like, well, how about I get one when I'm 10? I said, no, girl. No. Well, how about 11? Girl, stop it. Well, please, how about 10, please? I said, girl, this is not a negotiation, okay? This is not a negotiation. You are too little to have a phone. You do not need a phone. Well, my friend so-and-so has one. Well, that's good for your friend so-and-so. Maybe her parents let her have one, but I'm your parent and you're too little. Right, exactly.
Your Honor, but I can confirm that we have some very technical folks on our end that have been trying to access the documents for the same purpose of moving this case forward, and it's been difficult. And so now we're put in the position of trying to take what has been produced and get an e-vendor involved, which is going to cost more money, of course, but we're getting an e-vendor involved, just as Mr. Diller is, to try to better access these documents. And then I would just say to, you know, from what I have been able to see with the 518 videos, they're not, as far as I can tell, categorized in any way. My operations manager has told me that we can see that there's driveways, there's Ring doorbells, there's some body cams, there's cars backing up, which I can presume is Ms. Reed's. There's some audio files that sound like they're coming from dispatch, but nothing is date and time stamped. We're having a difficulty sort of trying to read through it and discern what is relevant and what is not relevant from those videos. And then with respect to the folders that I believe Mr. Rosenberg has referenced, we're having a hard time opening those as well. They seem to be either corrupted or not in a proper archive format, to the best I understand what my technical people have told me. So I can just say, Your Honor, we are having some similar difficulties that we would love to get past with the cooperation of all parties in the court.
What depositions, if any, have been noticed by CNC?
We have not noticed depositions for two reasons. One, there will probably be very few from us, Your Honor. But two, we want to only notice depositions that we truly intend to take and are not duplicative of other parties. So we have talked with Mr. Diller and conferred with him on the short list of folks that we would anticipate that we would like to depose. And frankly, we've also talked to counsel for Waterfall about this. And then, of course, Mr. Diller has talked to me about some of the folks at McCarthy's that he would be looking to depose. But on both sides, it's a relatively short list, Your Honor. And as soon as we get through these documents, we are in a position to proceed with that type of discovery and with depositions.
Thank you. Why don't I hear from Waterfall, please?
Thank you, Your Honor. David Hassett. Judge, we have responded to the plaintiff's discovery, interrogatory answers, and document responses. We've also propounded discovery to the plaintiff and to the individual plaintiffs identified in the suit. That discovery is outstanding by agreement. As to the documents produced, we also have not yet commenced deposition. The documents that we have gotten through the discovery to date, we've been working through and expending efforts to get to the documents, understand the documents. We've had some challenges, but we've been trying to implement some workarounds, but that is not completed yet. And we also have a discovery e-vendor that will be assisting us in the pursuit of getting our arms around all those documents. We have been in discussions with Attorney Diller and Attorney Smith about the depositions we would be taking. There are obviously some overlap with the depositions that the Reed team would be taking and the O'Keefe team, but that the separate depositions of patrons or witnesses, we conferred about those. I agree it's a relatively short list, and the hope was for us to review the documents before starting that process.
Attorney Hassett, do the challenges you have encountered include the inability to access the documents produced?
Not all of them, Your Honor. We have been able to access documents, but we haven't been able to access all the documents. For instance, some of the folders that were described by Mr. Rosenberg and Mr. Diller, they will open up and they'll be blank, there'll be nothing in there, or they're corrupted. I believe we've had some communication with Mr. Rosenberg's office about some access to files and our own IT support internally. So what I would say, Your Honor, based on 990,000 pages, there is a percentage that we haven't accessed properly or completely. One thing I will also add is that there is a load file that we recently received that has metadata. It appears that that will assist in terms of accessing documents or files that we've struggled with. So that's something that we intend to do next.
When did you receive that?
I think it was in the last week, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor,
Thank you.
can I just note, Your Honor, I haven't heard from either of the two bars about these issues. I'm happy to work with them, just like I've been working with Mr. Diller to have these documents assist with whatever technical issue that they're having. I just haven't been aware of those yet. So if they reach out to me, I'm again happy to help with that. But I understand there is a lot of paper here, and there is a need for e-discovery vendors because primarily the plaintiffs have asked for all of these million pages of documents. So I understand why all of the parties are explaining the need to access things in order to go forward and proceed even further with discovery. But I just want to be clear, to the extent there's any technological issue, parties need to reach out to us and let us resolve those, which we will do.
But the common theme seems to be that they're all having some difficulty.
Well, I agree with you based on what I just heard, Your Honor, but I'm not aware of that until just this moment. The only party I've conferred with about these issues is Mr. Diller, and we've been talking about it for, I think we'll agree we've been talking about it for a month or more. So I'm more than happy to do that, and I don't know what the issue is from the other defendant's perspective. I know from Mr. Diller's consultant what the issue is now, which I believe we've resolved, and he's said he should be able to know that shortly. So I would suggest I'm happy to speak with anyone that needs to in the next couple days to address any technological issues that are remaining.
So, Attorney Rosenberg, in November, Attorney Waters indicated that the Reed team had sent out between 10 and 12 subpoenas.
That's correct.
And it appears you've resolved, at least for now, issues relative to Sergeant Good, Mr. Proctor, as well as the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office. That's 3. Who were the other parties that notices of deposition went out?
So there's only been one. There's only been one.
Well, Attorney Waters indicated between 10 and 12. I've just addressed 3 of them, so that leaves 7 to 9. So you said there's only been those 3?
No. So the question to Attorney Waters at the last hearing was subpoenas. Those were primarily document subpoenas. The deposition subpoena and the notice of deposition, which is the only deposition that's scheduled thus far in this case, is our deposition of Michael Proctor, which we've finally locked in with everyone's availability, all parties, counsel, and Mr. Proctor and his counsel's availability. And that'll be going forward in April. We have not yet scheduled other depositions, but we from the Reed side plan to do so very shortly. And as you can tell, obviously the discovery from our end is going to be primarily third-party discovery. So there will be additional depositions put on the calendar soon as we're able to coordinate schedules, which has obviously been daunting in this case.
So just so I understand, what subpoenas have been sent out?
So we've sent 2 subpoenas to Michael Proctor because there was additional information that became we became aware of. We've sent a subpoena to the town of Canton. We sent a subpoena to the Boston Police Department. We sent a subpoena to the Massachusetts State Police, sent a subpoena to Sergeant Good, as Your Honor said. We sent a subpoena to, I don't know if I said the District Attorney's Office, but both us and the plaintiff sent subpoenas to the District Attorney's Office. We sent a subpoena to Mr. Proctor's prior attorney in connection with his appeal, just relating to this one particular issue that is relevant to the District Attorney's Office subpoena. There might be 1 or 2 I'm not thinking of off the top of my head, but that's the bulk of them thus far.
When did the subpoena go to the town of Canton?
The subpoena to the town of Canton went, off the top of my head, July or August of 2025, I think.
And have you received a response?
We've received documents. We are currently discussing with their counsel additional documents that we had been under the impression they didn't have, but now I believe they may actually have. So I'm in the process of a 9C conference with their counsel to determine if they will produce these additional documents that they should produce from our perspective.
When did the subpoena to the Boston Police Department go out?
Roughly the same time. So the first subpoenas we sent all around the same time was the town of Canton, the Massachusetts State Police, Michael Proctor, and the Boston Police Department. Those were all July to August. And then, as I said, we followed up with a second subpoena to Mr. Proctor, approximately September of 2025.
Would you agree that 8 months to resolve issues from subpoenas might be a little unreasonable?
I certainly would, Your Honor, but here's what's been happening in this case. Every time we serve a deposition, we serve a subpoena, we either are ignored by the recipient of the subpoena, as happened with Sergeant Good, happened with Mr. Proctor, happened with, at first, the Boston Police Department. Then we're presented with objections and a refusal to produce documents. We try to confer. These are government entities in large part that we're discussing right now. And it takes time to even get people on the phone. We get them on the phone. There's continued refusal to produce documents. We attempt to confer, as we're required to under 9C, to try and get documents without burdening the court with motions to compel. We then, in some instances, for example, the district attorney's office, just as one example, they have a set of documents that were taken off of Mr. Proctor's personal cell phone and then identified by the district attorney's office in the Commonwealth, documents that may be evidence of bias. They did that pursuant to a court order in other criminal cases. They then returned that phone to Mr. Proctor. We tried to get the phone and the same data from Mr. Proctor pursuant to subpoena because the district attorney's office told us they wouldn't give it to us because it had to come from him directly. As it turns out, that phone, after it was provided back to Mr. Proctor from the district attorney's office, in the short period of time between that and when he hired his present counsel, he apparently lost that phone. So now we can't obtain those documents from Mr. Proctor. So we had to go back to the district attorney's office and tell the district attorney's office we need it from them. I then engaged for 2.5 months negotiating an agreement with the district attorney's office, which would only give us these relevant documents, despite the civil rules, would only give them to us with onerous restrictions that are unusual if never occur in civil cases like this. But we agreed to that because we need to get the documents. So I 100% agree with you. When we've sent out subpoenas, we have not gotten the responses that we should have gotten under the rules and the law. But we've had to put in a lot of extra time and effort and resources to getting these entities to produce documents. The state police still haven't produced documents. I was under the impression they'd been reviewing them for months, just found out from their counsel that they had made little to no progress, and I needed to again threaten a motion to compel in order for them to agree to produce, to do what they have to do. So I agree with you, Your Honor. We shouldn't have to wait that long.
But here we are in February and we're not any further along. I detect a little frustration from you, Attorney Rosenberg, but why don't you utilize the court to maybe relieve that frustration? If you have issues that you need to bring in front of the court as far as a motion to compel, let's get them filed.
Can I just be clear?
It needs to start moving along.
Well, I need to be clear with Your Honor, and I'm hearing you don't want us to confer with these parties and continue to drag out those conversations. The rules, I believe, would require me to do that, and I can't just come into court asking for a motion. But if you'd prefer us to handle it this way when we get non-compliance from a subpoena recipient, I'm happy to do that. I just am sensitive to the requirements of 9C.
I'm not suggesting you ignore any of the rules. I'm suggesting you avail yourself of the opportunity to use them. And I'm simply suggesting that the length of time that it has taken to resolve issues that shouldn't really be issues appears to me to be excessive. So we have to figure out a way to bring them to a head.
Well, I agree with you, Your Honor. It's just, it's excessive from the recipients of the subpoenas. We're certainly not delaying anything. We've been demanding documents since July, and we've been out there taking discovery and trying to move the case along, which is what we intend to continue to do. So as soon as I have a situation where the recipient of a subpoena is not engaging in good faith conference under 9C, we've been filing motions, and we've had, I believe, 3 or 4 before, Your Honor. Then the parties who have received the subpoenas seem to all of a sudden be more willing to comply just before we have hearings with the court. And so we are using those tools and will continue to do so.
Anything else?
Not for me, Your Honor.
Okay, so why don't we all plan to get together next Thursday at 4 o'clock in the same fashion? And Attorney Diller can report on his success or lack of success in seeking to access the documents. And it'll give you and Attorney Diller a further opportunity to talk about his concerns about categorization or identification of the documents that are produced. And then I'd ask all the parties to submit at this point in time the intended depositions. And I understand that may change, but I want to know who people intend on deposing. Is there anyone that can't make it next Thursday at 4 o'clock? Hearing no response, we'll see everyone next Thursday. Thanks very much.
Your Honor, I have a question though about the request for the intended depositions. Are you looking for that to be a formal written disclosure, or is that something that we could show you in camera so as not to make public all the parties that we intend to depose?
You can share it to me in whatever fashion you want to.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Anyone else have any questions? Okay, thanks very much. We'll see everyone next Thursday.
Thank you.
Okay, so for the record,
Your Honor.
this matter is continued to February 12th, 2026 at 4 p.m. for further status, and that hearing will be held via Zoom.
And Attorney Rosenberg, still, because I want to have a clear record here, please, as I indicated earlier, provide the court with a copy of whatever you produce to Attorney Diller.
Okay, it'll come from Mr. Maravellis and Mr. Bell, my co-counsel. The production came from their office.
All right. Thank you.
Your Honor,
Thank you.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
with respect to production, who would you like me to coordinate with? Because our office will need to coordinate with somebody from the court with respect to e-discovery. We cannot just send you an email. It's a much more complex process that we've been involved in. We have an e-discovery vendor, and we would need somebody on the court side to have it, to be able to receive it. Otherwise, we can't just, you will not be able to receive it just via email. You'll need some type of technical capabilities to receive the actual documents. So we're happy to coordinate with somebody with the court if there's somebody you'd like to put us in touch with.
You can start with Assistant Clerk Donovan.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Okay, guys, there you have it. That was the hearing. I mean, not a lot happened there, that's for sure. But that's it. So I am going to close out this stream. I love your stinking faces. I'll see y'all tomorrow. On your way out, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to donate to the channel, all the information is inside of the description. It's also obviously pinned to the top of the chat right now is the link for debit or credit. And if you donate when I'm not live anymore, we will happily read it on the next one. If I didn't catch it before now because I'm still outside, then I'll read it on the next one tomorrow. I love your stinking faces. Everybody have an amazing day. Bye, everybody. Goodbye.